1st Street near 71st and Jeffrey is all about the meat at Trice's Original Slab Barbecue. That's why the slab marinates its rib in a secret rub for 48 hours before it hits the pit. And if you think the ribs are great, check out the slab's rib tips, barbecue chicken, beef pork, and turkey links, turkey legs.
Todd, will you do me one favor, please, my friend?
Huh?
Will you turn down? I think that one is on. Something is on. No, it's on that end.
Must be the big thing. There's nothing plugged in here.
Oh, this thing.
Just unplug them. Yeah, just unplug them.
Nah.
Sonia, can I get your camera real quick? Oh, never mind. Damn. All right. It's a little bit behind the gun today. Whoa. Okay, Todd, let's get you some focus. Hit that door, Todd, if you don't mind.
Rise and shine.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show.
Wake up!
Call 773-591-1690.
War and poverty. Oh. All the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better. Na 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 na. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Morning. I'm feeling good.
You feeling good, Todd? You looking good, man. It seems like seems like you're finally into your groove. You're getting here earlier. Maybe is it the no traffic thing going on? Is that what it is?
No, because traffic is lighter. I don't know. I just feel like I've hit a stride here.
You feel like you've hit a stride?
It is. I think it does have something to do with there's nobody around. It's kind of a strange world.
Right. I think it is a very strange world. But I'll tell you what. It's a good thing we got each other, man. I got you, Todd. I got you, Todd.
I got you, babe.
I couldn't say babe. That's Carrie. Carrie is babe.
Yeah, right.
So I had to say, I got you, Todd. All right, y'all.
It's good to have somebody to come to.
Hey.
Even though, I love my family. I see them a lot.
It's I think everybody was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were telling me how the kids who, was it the psychologist we talked to yesterday? Was she a psychologist, psychiatrist? When she was saying how all the kids who hate school are like, please take me back to school. Yeah, right. I want to go back. I wanted to do a segment on what the kids miss, and I wanted to do it today, but I was thinking it's Tell Me Something Good Friday, so why do I want to depress people on Friday? Right. So I do want to put
the whole month.
Right. Well, what I do want to do, maybe we should find a high school or a correspondent. Maybe we should find a child correspondent to just give us an update as to what's going on. We gotta figure this out.
No, that's smart. I used to play basketball with a young man who wrote an article for the Sun-Times while he was at Whitney Young.
See, I think there's a lot of smart kids out there who could probably add a lot to the show, right? And could probably do some contributions. I think we're all going through this together, and I think that, you know what I was thinking, Todd?
What?
I saw a post by Damon Williams, and he was saying how he missed
the comedian. Yeah,
Damon. Me and Damon worked out together back in this same building. He was on the Doug Banks show.
You're starting to become like my dad.
What?
Every time there's a name I worked with.
Well, anyway, he was saying it's times like this you wish you had Tom Joyner. Right? And I was just thinking, when Tom Joyner would be on, you would be thinking about, he would be bringing people together and making you feel like you could get through it. That's what I think we got to do. I got to concentrate on really not being Debbie Downer and really concentrate on trying to fill this time with positivity. So I think we're going to try and, don't get it wrong. I'm still a hater. I think that's part of the whole thing. But I do think that what we got to do is fill up this time with content. So I'm going to be working hard this weekend to try and find more stuff that can be, beyond just the Mace Jackson rants. As much as I love him, I think we got to...
as much as you love him.
As much as I love him, I think we got to find... Everybody's home, so we got to find some good interviews and some good topics and some good stuff. But I do want to talk to some parents. I want to talk to some teens next week. But look, scroll. Let me do this. Let me start by saying what's up to the rest of the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Jennifer Thompson in the newsroom? Jennifer, how you feeling today?
I am blessed. I'm doing well. It's a new season, and I'm grateful.
Awesome. And I gotta say what's up to the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. Sonia, how you feeling this morning?
Good morning, guys. I'm ready to go.
You ready to go? All right, well then, good. It seems like we are up. Let's get this thing up and away. 50,000 feet it is, the WVON morning show. Hey, Todd, I don't know. I was halfway, yesterday, I had a little cathartic day yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
I was at the office, man, and there was nobody there, and nobody was coming.
Right.
And so I got a lot of work done. And it was the first time I did my podcast where I didn't feel rushed. And as I was sitting down,
did it by yourself?
Yeah, I did. I was practicing social distancing.
Oh.
I need Sonia. I gotta tell you, I need Sonia, or at least she gotta come in early, set up all the audio, and then leave, and then I'll come in or whatever. But anyway, I digress. Todd, as I was preparing for the podcast yesterday, I was watching my new YouTube TV, which I am trying to decide if I'm going to cut the cord during this time because of the 500 channels that I pay for on DirecTV. Well, actually, Carrie pays for. I think I watched 6 of them.
Right.
So anyway, and then I see a news alert that the mayor, I thought we were having a COVID press conference. Turns out we got a new top cop.
Yeah.
David Brown. I was like,
I would have guessed him. Because for what you said yesterday, the one from Aurora,
mm-hmm.
too close to the same.
Right. Well, too close to the same, but we'll go ahead.
Yeah, from the top.
Uh-huh.
The one.
I see how you did that.
Yeah.
I see how you did that right there.
And the one from here, there's no way.
Yeah, I figured that too. I figured that, but I still wanted to give a plug to the brother. All right, well, look, when we come back, we're going to talk about the new top cop, David Brown. Plus, I got some more headlines. Don't forget, we did do Illinois Minotti last night, and it is up on Facebook and YouTube. So we are back up on YouTube as well. Stock Chicago 1690 will be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk.
How y'all feeling this morning?
WVON.
I'm feeling good. Okay. I'm going to have to bring my own toolbox here. Because can I tell you something? Like, some of the most basic things that would make life simple just require, somebody bring their tool bag one day. Just one day. Can I say, one of the things that I feel like black men lack right now, not tools, but how to use them.
Skills.
Yeah, I don't think, how many people know how to actually do can you do basic electric, Todd?
I'm afraid.
Basic electric is scary, but I have done it. And
they teach. Oh well, no, your daughter went to the girls' side. In the boys' side, there was electronics class in Heinstock, but I'm like, did you learn anything?
At St. Rita, the electricians have a class.
Oh wow.
You can go straight from just like college, you can go straight to electricians.
That's pretty clever. But no. I don't feel confident.
Oh my God, that's right. Okay. That's right. Oh, I forgot to put them on the rundown. I'll do that. Tennille. We're gonna put them at 8:00. Okay. Then we'll do a half or 15. Let's put them at 8. 8:15. Let's do 8. We'll do 8. And here, I'm texting you the number right now. Todd, you got the camera. You and Sonia. I'm about to bounce out for a second.
All right.
Hold on. Let me come back here. Let me take Sonia. Let me give you that. All right, Todd, you get the camera.
I've been doing this thing. It's hard not to touch your face. I afraid myself so much. What I was gonna say here? Oh, I've been playing this game on Facebook where you list. Well, I guess you can list as many as you like, but you list 6 people, 6 celebrities, not people, and one of them is someone that you haven't met. So mine are Bernie Mac, Will Smith, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Woody Harrelson, Steve Harris, the actor, and Bill Clinton.
What?
It's a Facebook game. You list 6 celebrities, and one of them you haven't met.
Name the ones you said.
Bernie Mac,
Okay.
Will Smith, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Woody Harrelson, Steve Harris, and Bill Clinton.
So I would say it's probably go to the first 3.
Bernie Mac, Will Smith, Tommy Hitman Hearns,
Keep the next one.
Woody Harrelson, Steve Harris, Bill Clinton.
Woody Harrelson.
People pick him a lot. No.
Who is it?
I played basketball with him
At East Bank.
at the East Bank Club.
Okay. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. How they be like, look, I can't do it. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, did I see you bobbing your head to Ice Cube, man? What you doing over there?
Oh, don't get me wrong. These guys are talented. I just didn't like what they were talking about, so generally I didn't pay attention.
Oh, you just bobbed your head to the party. You just came in.
Well, probably at that point I wasn't partying that much. So
All right, hey man. All right, Todd. Well, check it out. Mayor Lori Lightfoot named a new top cop. Some people said. So I was watching. I was reading. I went to read yesterday to see the response. Second City Cop. Woo wee, ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. Boy, oh boy, that's why them cops is anonymous. But can I tell you, if you read Second City Cop, that is why we should be very nervous as we are driving around the streets. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you about some of the I was reading these posts and I couldn't figure out who they were talking about the whole time. And then it finally clicked to me and I was just like, oh, they are so foul. These are all the police. Like, oh my God, it's crazy. Anyway, so Todd,
I guess I got to start reading something.
I've decided that I am going to start incorporating Second City into the show, and we're going to do it under the version of mean tweets, right?
Uh-oh.
I mean, they got some doozies in here. And so
sure.
So one of these days, I was going to do it today, but I want us to plan it out a little bit better. But we're going to do Second City mean tweets. We're going to make that a feature. And we're just going to read. We're going to take turns reading what the cops have to say. And you know what? We're going to whenever something bad happens, we're going to go there too. And we're going to do, just like she's playing this music, when you hear that, we're going to be doing Second City mean tweets. That'll be good. Good content. All right, some people said that they asked was he related to Seal. He does resemble Seal a little bit.
Doppelganger.
He does, man. Did you see? He did do a little butt kissing yesterday. Do you think you're why would you want to be the top cop in Chicago at this time? I mean, the place that gave us Lori Lightfoot and Michelle Obama. I was like,
I don't get the question.
Because Chicago cops is it's a bad space. Nobody really wanted to be the chief of police in Chicago because it's just if you read Second City, you probably understand why. But anyway, it's a challenging job to say the least.
Oh yeah. All the top jobs are always challenging them.
Yeah, but this one is an extra special challenge, right?
Yeah.
With the community and everything. Yeah, man. So it was just funny. People would say he looked like Seal, man.
He does.
See?
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it too, man. And if he showed up with a white wife, y'all, it's gonna be
They're
ridiculous. We figured it out. All right, don't forget, y'all go back and check out the Illinois Minotti last night. I did a good episode. Did some political analysis as well as the. I still didn't get my R word.
I heard part of it.
I didn't get my R word for retribution. I mean, because I remember I needed something instead of retribution because it wasn't retribution. But we'll talk about that a little later. All right. How about I was just thinking about, you know how the president. So did you see? I saw JB just a little bit yesterday, and he was saying how he's trying to get on the air bridge, but President Trump won't let him get on the air bridge. I was talking.
What is that?
The air bridges, they're now flying materials from China instead of putting them on the boat because they take so long.
Oh, right.
Like, did you see the Patriots?
Slow boat from China?
Right. Literally.
Yeah.
Well, they got an air bridge, and it's like this thing from China to the United States where they're bringing stuff. And JB said that the president won't let. Like, think about this. Robert Kraft from the Patriots got on the air bridge from the Patriots got on the air bridge. He went picked up supplies for Massachusetts, flew back. Meanwhile, JB can't get on the air bridge.
Well, did we not know that Trump was not? He's two things. He's celebrity driven. He loves celebrities, and he's spiteful.
See, steady. I'm just saying though, steady talking. And the other thing I was just gonna tell you, you want to know when when everybody gonna stop talking about keep talking smack. When the president slow the blue state stimulus checks down. I bet everybody who's sitting around waiting gonna be like, "Could you be quiet, please? I'm still waiting on my check." Because they are saying that some federal stimulus checks will come later. It will take as long as 20 weeks.
20 weeks, really? The way they were talking, they were like, "This will be
some
started
people
in a week, and people
some
will get them." And
some people will get. Some people will. Guess who won't?
Blue state.
I'm just telling y'all. I just wish y'all be quiet.
I think I told you when the president won, Claire was in like 6th grade or something. I don't know.
President
Trump.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she was in 7th grade.
Okay.
And she went to school, and one of her teachers was just crying uncontrollably, and she was like, "I'm sorry."
Why Claire gonna take you away?
Well, she couldn't stop crying.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me see what else we got. But I just was thinking about, if Trump would play with the medical supplies, they will play with the stimulus checks. And y'all know everybody, them stimulus checks already spent. You can't even go outside. People got plans for them checks and they can't even go outside. Wait till you on the 20-week list. Because in about 2 weeks.
Up, man.
And
I don't know if we do that.
I don't know. What you gonna do? What y'all gonna do? Not vote for him?
No.
I'm just telling you.
I don't know. There's some things he can stop. I'm not certain if that's one of them because that's kind of like a system thing. Once it's in the system, it just kind of like system works.
Todd, you know what, Todd? For somebody who reads science fiction, who has seen all of this stuff happen, you really trying to tell me what can't happen with a computer? Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna let you be, Todd. Okay, Todd. It's all right. I bet if I told you 2 weeks ago that we wouldn't all be able to come outside no more, you'd be like, "No, that would never happen, Mace. This is the United States." And now you like, "I told y'all had to stay in the house."
Say that. You're right. I read enough.
Exactly. I'm telling you. Hey man, I done seen enough movies, and now you done got me paranoid about Running Man. All right. Did you see? Shout out to the governor though. They are opening up hospitals and hospital beds. They are opening up the old Westlake Hospital. They also have built some. They got McCormick Place going. He said yesterday he was exhausted. It was almost like he had been out there putting the beds down himself.
No, I get that. I would go out, and this is just a small thing. When they have the floods out in Des Plaines, I'd go out and see what was going on because the county would send a lot of equipment and workers out there. So yeah, this is huge. You got a whole state to run on.
This is another one that slipped by us. 2 things slipped by us this week. First of all, we did not give Sonia Escobar her propers for her birthday.
Happy birthday
to you. No, we gotta sing Feliz Navidad. Oh, that's not it. It's cumpleaños. What is it?
Oh, shoot, if we have to sing that,
right. That's why she's a musical conductor. She can play her own song, right, and make sure we get it right. You know what I'm saying? But we did not say happy birthday to our beloved Sonia Escobar. So happy belated birthday to Sonia. You got to celebrate with what's the people after y'all? Is it drinks at that? Okay, we're gonna talk about that. I don't know. You know what? I might use the robotic drink maker today. You know we got a robot drink maker at home. We have two.
No, you got
actually.
two.
Right. You pay attention.
I
Huh?
pay attention to you.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Well, you know, speaking of that though, my wife threw a potluck party with her family last night, which is why I only heard party.
On Zoom? Or in real life?
No, on Zoom. No. Yeah, everybody was, on their own house.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get to eat anybody else's food.
Oh, I was just wondering. Because I was going to say, if you got any white relatives, man, they probably still put...
Which we do.
Was they in the Zoom party?
Uh-huh.
You didn't let them make the potato salad. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
There were raisins in the potato salad.
Raisins in the potato... Now, if you see raisins in the potato salad in the Black House, that means it was roaches. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, guys, I've decided... I'm trying to get back in tune with myself. So I've decided that I'm not going to... I want to be... That Damon Williams comment really hit me. Right? And I also feel like we got to do better content for you guys. I know I love my rants and I love to preach and teach and all that good stuff, but I do think that during this time this is a perfect time for people who are home in the mornings to be able to get interviews and information and get it locally. And I don't see why we can't compete with the local newscast knowing that people are willing to move to social media platforms. That's why part of the reason I shoot horizontally. Even though I know Tennille says that you're supposed to move, but I hate watching. I'll watch our show on the big screen, but I can't watch it like this. I have to watch it like I'm watching TV or watching a movie.
Oh, I prefer that too.
Right. And so I think understanding my age demographic, Tennille, right? I just like I'm not supposed to do long form posts, but I do long form posts and people tend to read them because I'm so engaging. No, I'm just joking.
What's the long form post? Is that too much words?
Yeah, too many words.
Did you see Florida Governor Mays?
No.
Okay. He's allowing churches and gun shops to remain open.
No, I guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately he can get away with it and look like a genius now that we found Andrew Gillum laid out naked with meth and
I think he was only shirtless.
No, he was straight naked. They got a picture with everything blurred out. Yes.
Philippines President, what's his name, Duarte or something like that, has issued a shoot people on the streets if they're out after curfew.
That's that Philippines.
What's that?
That's that Philippines. Hey man, I am telling you though, yesterday when I was walking from the door to the office, that warm weather there, I was like, oh yeah, these little it's gonna be a rest this weekend.
And in Jamaica, they've got an 8 p.m. curfew. Everybody has to be off the streets at 8 p.m. And on one of the Facebook pages I went to, some people posted some pictures from Jamaica of cops detaining people, and what they zip tied their hands, put them on the ground, but the way they put them on the ground, they put everybody's face and the person's ass in front of them. So they have a line of people, and they literally were piled up with face on ass, face on ass, face on ass, with their hands tied.
What do they call that? That's social shaming or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tactic. That's an official tactic.
Yeah.
You know what? See, that's why I couldn't be a dictator.
You just be a dick, right?
No, I wouldn't. But if you crossed the line though, yeah, you'd pay a hefty
shot
price.
On the street?
Nope. I want you getting shot on the street means you don't live with it. Yeah, no, I would be creative. I would love for people to come see me, and I would be like, boom.
You want any of those stories to see? You want the Philippines one? You can have some fun with that.
Nah, because I'm not doing gloom and doom today.
Well, that's kind of crazy and bizarre, not gloom and doom.
Yeah. I don't want to kill anybody right now.
Oh man, I'm just making some more money.
I think I'm going to watch the Howard Stern show this weekend.
The movie?
The movie again.
I forgot the name of that movie.
Parts.
Yeah, I watched that movie.
It's a good movie.
It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I'm going to.
You know, when I had a steady check, I would buy watches. Not really expensive watches, but watches. I wouldn't mind buying one of these. I buy watches that would never gain any value in any lifetime, but I really like them.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is, there's two ways you do, right? I feel like the watches that you buy that gain value are so fucking expensive that, like, I mean, so I have a Rolex and I have a Breitling, and then, but I feel like I spent so much on those watches and don't necessarily wear them.
Yeah.
The Breitling more, I don't wear it as much. I mean, I just don't really wear it. Like now I just really wear my Apple Watch, right? But I remember like really wanting to collect watches, and if you really want to collect watches, man, you gotta spend some real freaking money.
Yes.
Right? Like you ain't like you can find a used Rollie for like a 35. I mean, but like really, when you start like all the collectible watches, like at one point I had my hands on a Vacheron Constantine. Okay. Now this is clearly a $27,000 watch. But who can really afford a $27,000 watch?
The other collectors.
Yeah, but
it's a small group.
A very small group.
Yeah.
So that's why, but I like watches. I think the challenge is, I feel like when I bought all my stuff is because like you would go to the Source Awards and then you got on some cool watch that you thought was cool, and the guy gets, and people are all walking around with extra, but I didn't realize people rented and all type of stuff. Like
just for that day. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, there's a story, I can't think of the guy who writes the short stories that have the funny ending at the end about the lady who borrowed her friend's jewelry to wear to the party, and she lost the necklace, and she didn't talk to her for years, and she worked,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I remember that. Okay, we're about to be back. And I just want to be free. Free. And I just got to be free. Me. Free. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And hey, Todd, it's time for the social media question of the day. Sonia, I need to hear the big voice. I like that part when it says, and now, go ahead, Sonia.
It's time for the WVON Morning Show social media question of the day.
I feel so official when that happens. It's like, oh, it's the WVON social media question of the day. Todd, how, this is straight up, how will the city recover economically from the coronavirus plague that has befallen us? And when I say that, what got me to thinking about this, and again, I'm gonna be positive, but what got me to thinking was during one of the press briefings this week, and I want to say it was today's Friday, Thursday, everybody else. So let's say Wednesday. Wednesday there was a press briefing, and I think sort of they parallel bounce the questions, like the governor will get the same question and then the mayor will have it a little bit later. You know, there's things. And so when they asked the governor about, remember when they asked the governor about the budget and all that stuff, and he was like, look, man, this is not the time to be talking about these things. This is just not it. We got to figure out this crisis. And you know how, like, when you're in a crisis, it's like you figure it out and then you can deal with everything. You live first. And then after, you can figure everything out as long as you're alive.
Exactly.
So I think he was pretty honest when he said, look, man, I don't know what the heck we're going to do. I think legislators have been pretty clear about they don't know what they're going to do. They don't even know how they can meet, even though J-Car met 2 days ago. But they don't know exactly what's going to happen. Todd, the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that, dude. I probably didn't ask for the audio on that. But the mayor was asked, the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that, dude. I probably didn't ask for the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the audio on that. But the mayor was asked the same question. And I really wish I would. We don't have the was the city prepared to rebound financially? Todd, you have to cover your mouth, not cough into your sleeve anymore. Because now you've made your sleeve contaminated. So don't touch me with your right arm and stay away from me.
I figured that part of my sleeve would never touch you, and if it did, then I'd have to marry you.
Todd, you look, man. Look, man. You keep doing these things, man.
So I'm not gonna get married, but I already got a wife. That's my point.
Okay. Leave me out of these. All right, just leave me out of these.
It has nothing to do with water.
Just leave.
Well, it does,
not the shower, does it?
My throat is dry.
Oh my God, Todd! Enough! Stop! Just quit while you're ahead.
You know this is PG. You can't even talk like this.
You have to understand it. It's like those movies, right? Back in the day when you'd be like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, actually, I remember watching a movie. It was English, and they said something about bosoms, and I was like, "What are they talking about, Mom?"
All right, and that is again the squirrel. So let me come on back. So Todd, but the mayor said that she planned for this. Now,
She planned for what?
She said when we did our budget, we planned for an stop. She said that she planned for an economic downturn such as this, and she was prepared for us to rebound. Now I'm paraphrasing.
She's always prepared for zombies attacking or something? What's going on?
Well, that's the point. I was just thinking about, I think the mayor is a shoot from the hip responder sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And she reminds me sort of, there's a rule in the 48 Laws of Power, which is, take action and take action boldly, right? So it says, if you're going to do something, once you make the decision, plow through it. Because if you start thinking about it twice, you'll, if you got to run across the lake, and you're going to run across it, just run straight across. Don't get halfway and stop and be like, oh.
Should I go? And then
right. And then you sink because you could have just ran straight across.
Actually, that's true. Even when you lose, it's still a better strategy.
Right. Because you could get pummeled or you could just get across and lose and be alive. But I think the mayor sometimes tends to speak without actually knowing the actual facts. And so...
That sounds Trumpish.
I'm going to leave it alone on that. But... So here's what I was thinking, right? So Todd, and let me point out some things that crossed my mind. I don't know how she could possibly have said, we planned for this. She said we planned for an economic downturn. This is not an economic downturn. This is an economic slide off the cliff. Okay? So let me just give you points. So if your budget was based on collecting taxes, and the fiscal budget is it the beginning of the year? It's the beginning of the year. Yeah, and so from So think about this. Travel started, hotel taxes and revenue and sales taxes all started declining as this went to the point now when we're shelter in place. Remember how she raised taxes on all of those things? Nobody's taking an Uber. Nobody's going to sit down. Remember how she raised the taxes when you sit down at a restaurant?
Right.
The hotel fees. None of that money is coming in. So I don't understand how you could come on to TV, go in print, and say that you planned for this. You anticipated this. Now, this is where I'm going to get just a little here. I also think that we have a volatile president. I'm just going to say it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say that as we go on national TV, whacking the guy who has the purse strings, who has shown you who he is petty, that's probably not the best decision for the city of Chicago. But now, Todd, let me just give you a couple examples. And then I want you all to call me back. 312-374-8130. Remember when we said there was no blacks in cannabis?
Yes.
And she urged us to move forward with it anyway because she was going to go to Springfield and have the laws changed?
Yeah.
How'd that work?
Not too well.
Remember, and you talk about, remember she lambasted President Trump. Well, first of all, remember she went on TV just a couple days ago, lambasted President Trump for a lack of federal resources and a terrible response to the coronavirus crisis. Remember that?
Might as well.
Okay, so right,
Not
but
get anything in it.
I clearly, and thanks for us. So I just wanted to point out though, did you also see that then there was mysteriously a headline that started getting recirculated that said that the mayor scolded the CDC for
Oh yeah.
right. Remember, but she remember. So when the coronavirus happened, she said it wasn't a big deal. Everybody come to Chinatown. Remember, she got Sonia to come down. Right.
You're right. You got Sonia to fall for a trick.
Remember? Okay. So,
Sonia tried to bring some food back, but we wouldn't eat it.
I want to point out that remember when she balanced her budget, this balanced budget we had. It was balanced on the 10-year savings that they got from refinancing our big loan. So she took all the 10 years of savings in the first year.
Well, I know, but I didn't. Refinancing, yeah, that's a great
tool,
but it only works once.
It only worked once, and she took it all in this first budget.
Yeah.
Right?
Then, you hope that things get better.
But they got economically worse. Now, I just want to point out one more thing. Remember, and this is something that one of our aldermen pointed out to me, was that her budget was also based on receiving a federal reimbursement from the federal government, the same people she's bashing, from the ambulance money. Right?
Yeah.
So she needs the ambulance. It was $100 and something million that they were supposed to get back from the federal government in reimbursements for ambulance fees, which we haven't gotten yet. So I guess my question is, so can we really trust this?
I'll give you a quick answer. No.
So here's where I'm torn. I'm torn because I love the memes and the social media videos and all that good stuff. I really do. But I also am familiar with the realities of what's going to happen. I forgot. We said we was going to have a casino too. She was going to go work that out. Now, that didn't happen either. I was going to go down to Springfield and she was going to get us a casino and they were going to work it out and she was confident. And I'm not bugging out. But what I am suggesting is, Todd, that nobody has seen any of this. And I feel like I want honesty, but I don't want to be lied to either. And I feel like I may not be getting the truth. So, when we come back, I want you to give us a call, 312-374-8130. How will the city recover economically? How will the city recover economically? We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson.
Now, again, to the average person who has absolutely no clue about what I'm talking about, it makes complete, she could say all that stuff. But when you say, I planned for this, yes, we took into consideration that there would be economic downturns when we made our budget. Now, Todd, let me ask you a question. Realistically, so we are about to go to the first quarter is basically a wash. A wash. No taxes. They've canceled you ain't getting no ticket revenue from no sporting events. You're not getting parking meter money. Well, parking meters are still getting their money because she said
they sure are.
She said she was gonna stop the tickets of fees and fines, but the only tickets to fees and fines, I don't even think she can stop that because
it goes to your point about speaking from the hip.
Bring that up. Hit that back too. You can hit that one. You're scared to touch that one because I think that's a point.
Oh, you mean later?
Yeah, well, when we come back.
Okay, yeah, right.
Because, again, so people started parking, and you can't really trust it because the whole reality is it's owed by... Dang, I lost my point. Parking ticket. Oh, because Laz owns that, right? Well, they put on City Vest, but it's outsourced to them because it's their money. They pay for it. They go collect that money because they it's ours.
Yep.
They don't have to talk to the city.
They won't.
But I'm just telling you, It's like I think we like being lied to.
From my experience, I would agree. People like to hear flowery things and
or tough talk.
Tough talk is very, very good. They like to have an enemy where they can say, "All right, you beat up on the enemy," but
that's a rule in the 48 Laws of Power.
What's that one?
To always have an enemy, and if you don't, create one.
That's right. You always need a foil to fight against, because that can always make you look better. Well, it can't. It always makes you look better that you're fighting some kind of enemy. Like in my case, the enemy I was fighting was the lack of health care, but nobody cares about it. Like, that ain't a real enemy.
Now it is.
Well, yeah.
I bet you it would have been a great one if we had COVID.
We still have that same problem. I think this health crisis, and I did hear a public health official say this health crisis is showing the lack of health care that so many people can get in America. And like I say, even in my hospital, South Shore, every year we're in the red. The only time we make it in the black is because the state gave us a ton of money.
All the time they want to take your place, the backstabbers. Backstabbers! They smiling in your face. All the time they want to take your place, the backstabbers. Backstabbers!
Yeah. You better beware, yeah. To take your old lady. Somebody say,
Show look shady, yeah.
and I don't think they'll miss
what they do. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place, the backstabbers. Backstabbers. They get it.
all these visits from my friends, yeah. What they doing to me, to my house, again and again.
Again and again and again. Yeah.
Woman, but they just keep on coming. Some of these knives out my back.
What they do. You are tuned in to the Top Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. All right, Todd, I want to tell everybody, listen tomorrow at 9 a.m. as Ariel Investments presents a rebroadcast of Stimulus 2020. What's in it for you? That you means black people. Let me just put it in there. With former Treasurer Kurt Summers, find out how we get our share of the $1 trillion stimulus package. It is tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's right after. Is that right after? No, that's not right after Dorothy Tillman, because she's on from 6 to 8. Let me get my coffee, tea, and a conversation. Oh, I'm mad about Dorothy Tillman. Can I tell you what? It is black. Wait a minute, hold on. Smell it. Black. Let me do that. Come on, y'all, do it with me one more time. Smell that. Take it in. Black. All right, y'all, make sure y'all tune in to Dorothy Tillman tomorrow for coffee, tea, and a conversation from 6 to 8. And then don't forget, 9 o'clock, Ariel Investments will be presenting a rebroadcast of former Treasurer Kurt Summers, how we get our piece of the pie. Just a piece of the action. Todd, I don't know if we could. So I really like all the social media. I do. I mean, I love the dunking on the video. Can I tell you, the mayor has me cracking up when she be laid back on the White Sox commercial, because she look like she need to be in the man cave with the fellas hanging out. I'm not even saying that in a bad way. I'm saying, like, I could literally see her in the man cave chilling out. Like, pass that, man. Pass that over here to my cousin. Right?
Did you see? I just saw a new one where her face is imposed on Nick Fury.
Yeah, I saw that was a good one.
Yeah,
and the other one that I gave you Beretta, didn't I, yesterday? Somebody, I think I sent that to Sonia yesterday. They put her on the Beretta theme song, and they added the meme to it. So it's like the Sammy Davis Jr. version. It was hilarious. Okay, so anyway, Todd.
You know about that version?
What about it?
I hate this squirrel ass.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's Friday.
So you know that's like 1972 or something.
Okay.
The first year, the Sammy Davis version didn't play because they didn't think that having a black singer would be accepted on that white shelf. Kind of crazy.
What's crazy to me is he sounds so white though. Keep your eye on the sparrow. Yeah.
Well,
come on. You tell me.
Right.
I'm like, hey, yeah. Man, Sammy, you gotta be so. Okay. But Todd, you know what? While you was on break, you know, Todd, you be sliding in the shade just a little bit.
What?
Cause then you know why we was on the break. What you said? You said the mayor told us. What she tell us? Also, we wasn't gonna have to worry about. Oh, now you want to get scared.
No, no.
The parking tickets.
Oh, right.
Remember the mayor told us there would be no more parking tickets?
Exactly.
And she did not call LAZ. She did not call Laz. Laz was like...
Obviously, because this was money.
Right. Because they was like, that's what the mayor said. You can go to the store with that. Because they was out there. Them people still outside working the... Still out. They are still enforcing the meters because remember the city doesn't control the meters. But that's kind of my point.
That's why I keep my eye out for them.
Right. Well, I pay. I just pay. Well, actually, I ain't going.
I almost always pay. Sometimes I'm like, I don't got nothing. I'm gonna run in the store.
And let me tell you how you know. Because if they want to turn the meters off, they could just turn them off.
They could.
No, I'm telling you, they can. They got a thing. If you try to pay when this is out of the hours, it just turns itself off. It says you can't pay. Yeah. So they could, if they like, but LAZ is not like, they like, bust all y'all. When this is all over, we want our money, dude.
We want our money.
We already got to pay. So I guess, can we really trust, like, I feel like she was making statements without really knowing the facts.
Yes.
And
because, let me just say this.
No, you said
I've found that when I look at people who are elected to high office like this, it tends that if they defeated somebody else, it's always more of, and this, is not just me, it's like everybody I've seen. It's always, that last guy was an idiot. And I know what I'm doing, so guess what's happening now? And yeah, so you shoot from the hip and you find out later that, oh, shit, I don't know what's going on in government.
I mean, because anybody got a parking ticket? I have people showing me pictures of LAZ is out there, and I'm saying they keep their social distance anyway. They still writing tickets. So can we? First of all, how does the city recover? Let me go to Anthony. Oh, dang! It's time to go already.
What? No, it is.
Oh, dang! What happened? All right, Anthony, will you hold on? When we come back, we got to talk to the Small Business Administration District Director of Illinois, Bo Steiner. How you can protect your paycheck. But Anthony, you hold on. I'm gonna talk to you as well. We'll be back.
The station, 1690 AM.
Low down dirt. That's what I want to see.
What they do?
Huh.
They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The stabbers, backstabbers. Again and again and again. So just think about that. Think about how many times we don't in just this show, we just named how many times the mayor has not told us the truth.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, y'all be like, we love, I'm saying, and I try to give up, but I mean.
As you well know, depending on how the press either loves or hates you, there's a certain spin they're going to give to things, or I shouldn't say even spin. There's a certain amount of, what do they call it when they come back later and fact check you and all that? Yeah, there's a certain level of fact checking that they will do. And if they like, oh, well, everybody likes you, I like you, I'm not going to tell them that you screwed that up.
Right. Oh, no, the press has the discretion of whether, that's like the whole thing with the Nikki thing, right?
Right.
They knew, like, if I could figure it out, they could figure it out. But it was much easier to tell the story that, to lead that she's corrupt, as compared to these guys got a whole racket. It's more sexy to tell the red light camera story, which, again, I told y'all so. And more is coming. Okay. Jesse K in the building. Again and again and again. What up, Jesse K, Lori K, Claude Bridges, Philip Samuels, Tiger Lily, Constance Foster. What up, Antonio? What up, Berdella Waka? Waka. Remember that from Fozzie Bear? Waka.
Yeah, Fozzie Bear. Yeah, I love Fozzie Bear. What a sense of humor.
I did like Fozzie. I didn't really like the Muppets that much.
My dad would come home. Well, he wouldn't come home because he came on Sunday, right? Or was it Saturday?
Saturday night,
right. So he probably would come home, actually. And he'd sit down and he'd watch the Muppets. It was like 6 o'clock or something.
with you or
Oh.
himself?
That's right.
And he
Yeah.
just was tickled by it.
Yeah. He just was tickled by it.
Okay. Does anybody remember the Kiss movie that came on Channel 5?
I wanna rock and roll at the amusement
There's
park.
at the amusement park.
Yeah. Boy, yeah. When you're famous and things are going your way,
I interviewed Gene Simmons.
Did you?
On the morning show. And people were like,
he's a strange cat.
I tell you what though, it was like, I can't remember what we talked about, but I gotta go back and find it. I did some really crazy interviews. What's really crazy is I can't believe how many episodes, you know how many episodes of...
They had a cartoon, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many episodes of the morning show, but when you do 5 shows a week,
oh man,
that's a lot of content.
Whew,
and 5 shows, this is my 3-year anniversary.
65 weeks? No, 52 weeks? That's what I meant.
This is today is my 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's a lot of shows in the can.
3 years times 20 shows a month. So that's 20 shows a month times 12. That's 240. 2,400 shows? No, it can't be. 365 minus the weekends. Anyway, it's a lot of shows.
Do that formula.
Well, no, it's 20 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so I could do it. It's just I can't do it under pressure. So here's the formula.
Right.
So it's 20 shows a month times 12 months. So that's right. 240 times 3 years. So 240, that's 720.
That's a lot of shows. 720
shows. Now multiply that times 3. And that's 2,100.
Why would you multiply it by 3?
3 hours a day. Right?
Right.
So
President Trump's press conference yesterday had a lot to do with the SBA. Mm-hmm. Did you see it at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Is this guy a half hour or 15 minutes?
I think let's see how it goes because there's a lot of information here. Okay. But yesterday during President Trump's press conference, they brought up the head of the SBA talking about how some new program is going to be implemented starting today. So I'm sure that's what he's coming on to talk about.
Cool. Yeah, he don't want to believe it. What's almost had a job, Deborah?
In Vogue's debut album turns 30.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
Yo's at WVON.
Your camera angle. Your camera angle.
Another little kid like this.
You need to get down. You need to go lower.
Up in the where? You in the middle? Just don't care. Do a dance.
Lady who was ready to pay. It was me. She was fooling when she knew what she was doing when I told me I don't walk this way. She told me to walk this way. Talk this way. Walk this way. Talk this way. She told me to walk this way. Talk this way. Walk this way. Talk this way. Just give me a kiss. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, but you know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to my girl, Jennifer Thompson in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. She is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Todd, you know you cannot play the old school Run DMC for me without me getting on fire. Without me getting hyped up. And then you get me on the phone with the Small Business Administration and they talking about protecting people's paychecks. Man, I'm on 20. Hey y'all, so look, let me tell you what, Chicago, I want to get right to it because right now on the live line we have the Illinois District Director of the SBA. Did I say SBA? Let me back that up because you know what I'm always talking about, right? Business. Bo Steiner is the Illinois District Director of the Small Business Administration of Illinois, and he is here today to talk to us about, I don't know if you all watched press conferences, but President Trump yesterday brought up the head of the Small Business Administration, and you know that's when my ears start to perk up. Because I know I need to know about the business. So here to tell us how you can get your piece of the pie, how if you're a small business owner, from a small business owner to an independent contractor to...
That's me.
Man, that's me too. I was thinking none of this was going to apply to me, but there's so many nuances to it. We felt we had to bring Bo on to talk about it. Bo, welcome to the WVON Morning Show. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Mace. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. So, Bo, talk to me, man. I'm going to tell you. I am a small business owner myself, and I have been on pins and needles trying to figure out how I'm going to survive. I was thinking, when I see people talking about they're going to get these federal stimulus checks for $1,200, I'm like, but I own a business. I got employees. I got people working for me. I get a 1099. What does the government have in store for us as business owners?
Sure, yeah. The government and, the Congress and the president came together last week and they passed a bill and signed into law a bill that's really going to help a lot of small businesses. Key among them, as you mentioned, is the Paycheck Protection Program, and where they allocated $379 billion with a B.
Billion?
Yes. Yep. The big B. So $379 billion to go through to a program which basically goes directly to small businesses, those businesses with 500 employees or less, loans up to $10 million. But here's the kicker on the whole thing is if those loans are used to support more than 75% as payroll, those loans will be forgiven upon the providing evidence of the use of the proceeds. So when I say forgiveness, that means that loan gets wiped off the books.
So it essentially becomes a grant. If you use, did you tell me up to 75% of it to make sure your employees continue to get paid?
That's right, at least 75%.
Now, all right, so I gotta ask you, Bo, because the federal government is just such a behemoth. And it seems like, like you're calling in, you can't get through. They're trying to deal with everything. How are you guys going to help get, it sounds great to have $379 billion, but it just seems so hard because you're such a large bureaucracy to get it to people. And how is that going to get down to the communities? Because y'all got so much on your hands.
Absolutely. So two key things that we're doing to help get the funds out to businesses that need it right now. Number one, we're leveraging a lot of technology. So we're bringing technology to the table that'll help us streamline, and it won't be like that. It'll be an improvement on the federal government websites that you've used in the past. So super streamlined, using technology to make that happen. Number two is we're working with lenders across the country. So this isn't coming directly from the SBA. These loans are being made through commercial lenders, through other financial institutions to get to the small business owners. And it's a 0% loan. The process is super simple. It's basically a 2-page application. And what the business owner is really providing is evidence of their prior payroll to apply for the program. And then on the back end, to get that forgiveness component is going to provide evidence on the back end that you did in fact spend the money on payroll. So I've never seen as streamlined application process for any loan in my experience anyway.
So, Bo, I'm gonna just tell you because I am so. Bo, I know you take care of the whole state, but we deal with a very specific audience, and I tend to ask. It is my job to ask what's in it for the black people. And Bo, one of the things that I feel like is we have an adverse sometimes relationship with banks in the black community. And so it is a pretty much and it's been an intimidating process, and oftentimes at the end of it, we're not very successful. What can you tell to a person, a black business owner who may be pessimistic about the process because they've not had very good relationships when they've gone in to try and get loans from banks before?
Sure. So totally get the concern. And that's part of why the program in Congress determined that it would be opened up beyond just the normal lending community to other non-bank lenders, other lenders that maybe use technology to help support the processes, just to make sure that everybody had sufficient access. So, for example, CDFIs in the community that typically work with nonprofits.
Tell me what's a CFI? I'm sorry.
Community Development Financial Institution.
Okay.
So organizations like Chicago Neighborhood Initiatives on the south side of Chicago, other community development organizations who have done lending in the past, maybe not SBA lending, have access to the program, in addition to a broad network of our commercial lenders that really do a good job of reaching across all communities.
All right. Well, let me ask another question, because then we talking about a specific audience. I'm talking for the brothers and sisters out there. Bo, what about my credit? Like, what kind of credit do you have to have the loans? Because, sometimes as a small business owner and entrepreneur, when you are trying to grow, and a lot of our businesses are small, you're trying to beg Peter to pay Paul to stay above board. And sometimes your credit isn't always as good as some of the blue chip companies. What do you say to somebody who might be nervous about trying to go in because these same banks have told them, well, your credit sucks because you're trying to survive as a business owner?
Right. So this program does not look at the credit of the borrower at all.
Woo! Hold it. Wait a minute. What did you just say? Say that one more time.
It's not a credit-based decision. It's based on basically disaster payroll. So you're looking at last year's payroll on average and providing that documentation in the form of, the 1099s that you sent out for your business or the W-2s that you paid. That's including your own W-2 if you pay yourself payroll. And that's it. That's what you provide as evidence for this loan.
You know what, Bo, I need to say that this seems to be a very unintimidating process if we can overcome the hurdle of previous relationships. I think this is tremendous. And now let me ask a question. Who is eligible for this? I mean, because some people are 1099s. I'm a small business owner and I own a consulting company. How do people who have these difficult to categorize in this new type of economy, how do they get involved?
Sure. So really, if you think about it, it's all small businesses under 500 people, and that includes businesses that have employees, sole proprietors, 1099 contractors. All of them are eligible to apply for this program. So it really nobody who has their own business, whether it's kind of like you're talking about, where, hey, I'm a mental health professional and I work at a agency, but I'm a contractor. You're eligible to apply for this program.
Wow. I'm going to tell you. So how do I apply? Let me just say that because let me back up. And I want to take a moment to just say, Bo, how good it is for you to come. Let's do this. I got to go to traffic and weather, and I'll bring you back after the break, and you can at least let people know how they can apply for this. And I want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming on and talk about this to our community specifically. We'll be back after traffic and new weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
That's so you understand. So Malik Ayuba, you're saying that you were denied because of credit. I'm not sure if that's really the case. So you might want to look at that and talk to somebody. And we probably need to get a somebody who can help us, help people through it. But the government is the guarantor. So shit, I had a $10 million payroll last year. And but man, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
When you think about it, now I'm feeling some kind of way. Okay, I can recover.
That's what it's about, recovery.
I don't want to just recover.
Well, this is like insurance. Insurance is to make you whole again.
Yeah. Todd and Sonia, y'all have the cameras.
I want to be whole again. So, this is it's a good program. There's a lot of stuff going on, but like everything else, it's complicated. You got to find what will work for you, and then you got to make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. But things are possible. I remember when we had our flood in the ward. We got I think we got 6 inches of water in 2 hours. Our basement had 6 to 8 inches of water in it. The SBA offered us a loan for 2%. It wasn't very hard to fill out the paperwork and all that stuff. Got the loan. Had the basement redone. It worked out perfect. Part of it is just, plowing ahead, making sure you don't drop the ball, fill the paperwork out, and make sure you know what they're offering. If I remember correctly, the SBA always has a very good website.
Yeah, because white folks use the SBA.
They do.
They be like, yeah, I need $50 million. I'll get an SBA loan for it.
I went to the SBA once to find out some information. And they were very, well, they couldn't help me with what I wanted, but they did talk to me and tried their best.
Yes, 501c3s are eligible. Nonprofits are eligible, Tiger.
Broken hearted, mending. There you were standing. I'm so full of dollars. You make me love, treatment holler. The beginning of my love.
1,000 kisses from you is never enough. I just don't wanna stop. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Todd Stroger, and we are talking to Bo Steiner. He is the Illinois District Director of the Small Business Administration. Bo, I know you got to get out of here, but I got a couple questions from people on social media. Can you answer them real quick, and then I'll let you get a wrap? All right. So first question I got, and I think you've already answered this, is are 501c3s eligible for this program? Yes, this is. Okay. Secondly, can 100% of the loan be used for payroll?
Yes, you sure can. Really, this is really the intent of the program, right? Is that ultimately it gets to small businesses, but it also gets to the workers, helping them put food on their tables, pay their rents, all that stuff. That's really the focus of the program, is to help businesses stay in business, but also help their employees survive this challenging time.
Okay, and so, Bo, because I don't know if I was clear about this, how do people apply for this access? Tell me, how do they get to it? Where do they go? How do they do it?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is, if you have a banking relationship already with a commercial bank,
yes,
I would talk to them, number one, because you already have a relationship with them. And we have, tremendous network of bankers here in Illinois that are focused on the program. We've been getting calls from them day in, day out to make sure that they can participate and help the small business owners in Illinois. So that's number one. If you don't have a banking relationship, you can go to SBA's website at sba.gov/coronavirus, and there's what we call a PPP lender finder, and you put your zip code in. It'll bring up the banks that are nearby you that are providing the program, and you can reach out to them directly that way as well.
Now, Bo, I got one of my listeners, Malika Ayube, who said that they were rejected because of credit. I thought you said that couldn't happen. And is there maybe some disconnect that they may be talking about?
Sure. So in addition to the PPP program, the Paycheck Protection, we also have the Economic Injury Disaster Loan program, which is a separate working capital loan program of up to $2 million. That process is directly with SBA, and that opened up about a little over 2 weeks ago. So that in that program, we do look at credit score, among other things, to determine whether we provide a loan through that program or not. This is completely different. The PPP is completely different.
I'm glad we asked that question, because I was going to say, so there's two programs, but people who are looking to access this PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, say that real fast 3 times.
Right.
The Paycheck Protection Act program. This is what we were talking about, and so go to your current lending institution. If you are doing business, then you probably already got a bank, because you got to make your payroll, you got to write checks, or at least unless you're doing it through Cash App or something along those lines. So go to your existing bank and talk to them, because they should already be looking to to bring you in. My guess is if banks were smart, they'd be calling their business customers, quite frankly. But Bo, tell one more time, what are the strings to this? Because it feels like this can't be this real. Like, the government can't care about us this much.
You know, there's not a lot of strings to it. Through this program, there's no personal guarantees, there's no collateral requirements. Really, the strings are that you're using the money for the approved uses, which are primarily payroll, your lease, utilities. Those are kind of the key things. As long as you do that and you adhere to the terms of the loan agreement, there's not much else there.
You know what, Bo, I'm going to tell you, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, because I can imagine under this time there's economic crisis. It is great to know that we do have the Small Business Administration to rely on as it relates to this program. Hey, y'all, I want you all to all small business owners, whether you are a nonprofit, a sole proprietor, you got less than 500 employees, if you got 499 employees and one on the way, you still are eligible for this program, and there really are no strings attached, so pay your people. One more time, Bo, tell people the website.
Sure, it's www.sba.gov/coronavirus. And just so everybody knows, the program opens up for small businesses and sole proprietors today, April 3rd, and opens up for independent contractors 1 week from today, so next Friday.
Now, will it run out?
It could.
Okay.
It's,
okay, you're like, it could. There's never, we don't have an unlimited amount of money, so it means that we all need to get in there and apply. Now, there is $397 billion, but you know what? That can go pretty quick, so I want to encourage everybody, go sign up for the Paycheck Protection Program and save your businesses. Bo, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, and if you need to come back and let anybody know, you're always welcome back. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger. Todd, hey, man, we need to tell people to check that out, the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP.
That's right.
You know, when I used to think of PPP, you know, there was a group. It used to be a rap. You know who that is? You know, it's a rap group. It was called the Pack Pistol Posse.
No, never.
That was Redman and his crew. Right? You don't even know nothing about Redman.
I know who Redman is.
Time for some action, man. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what.
Redman, Method Man, you know, they're kind of.
Hey, man, you know Donald Trump was on Method Man's album, his first solo album.
Donald Trump's name appears a lot.
No, he actually recorded an intro.
He said something?
He was like, "Ayo, Redman. Ayo, Method Man. What's up? When's the album coming out? You got us waiting. What's going on?"
See, that's that thing about being famous.
What's that thing about being famous? See, Todd don't be listening to the show. We played that, Todd. We might have played it before you got here, though.
Yeah,
that could have been. No, it was on there, but sometimes Todd comes in, slides in right after. Hey, y'all, this is the WVON Morning Show. I'm pretty glad we had Bo on because he did. Malika, I hope that answered your question. There are two different programs. There's a disaster relief program that is based on your credit worthiness. The Paycheck Protection Program, that's not. That is just based on, it's already guaranteed by the government. Is it up to $2 million that you can get as long as you're paying your employees and you can prove it? And you use your last year's payroll?
Right.
Hey, man, my last year's, really?
Well, half of this is, like they say, you got to do it. I mean, we used to have a TIF program for, we called it a SPIF, for businesses down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, if you get $50,000 and redo mile of your place, we'll give you $50,000. That's free. And business would be like, that's okay.
Yeah, no, business would be like, I don't have $50,000 to start with. That's Top Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
Live.
That's what it was. People used to tell me about this.
$50,000 from your bank with a guarantee that you're going to get $50,000.
People don't know. That makes sense to you who understands working with the bank. A bank can be a very intimidating place, especially for someone if you're not entering it from a position of power and you're going to ask for stuff. I'm just telling you. Again, a lot of times I think your experience, because you've operated from a position of instant authority, right? Like, and I'm not dissing it.
I get what you're saying.
But like, you walk into the bank, that like from the time that you was born, probably, you're John Stroger's son. So 99.9% of the time, he knows somebody somewhere, and eventually, as those people grow up, they know you got relationships, etc. So like, think about the boutique.
Now you're talking about. I mean, I get what you're saying about me, but now we're talking about. I'll say the failure of our community.
So let me back up on that though. So I'm getting to that. It's a long way around.
No. Okay.
So to me, even for me right now, going to a bank is intimidating if I'm not just going to put money in. To go in and ask, right? Knowing that I got to sit in front of somebody who's going to judge me as a small business owner who don't know none of the stuff that I had. They're going to look at me and judge me by a credit score, right? And I'm a small business owner, which meant that I had to pay payroll. So if I had to go between payroll and paying the credit card at some point, I took the payroll and I said I'll deal with that number because... So I think there's a mentality as it relates to going into the bank. The other thing is, I don't think black people don't know how to make money moves. They don't. We have been taught to fear or money is a bad thing. Like, it's good to spend, but like, money is the root of all evil. Like, church, we don't. We have never become smart at the management of money collectively, right? Saving, collective economics, none of it. And I'm saying, even for myself, who some people would say have it together, the thing is, I can make money, but I'm not the smartest with the actual using of it. Now, when you talk about going to one of these banks and these loan programs, Todd, first of all, to tell a black business person who is trying to make it that you put up 50, I'll match your 50, and then say go to the bank and the bank will guarantee it. They don't understand that whole process, that the city is guaranteeing the money. So they don't even know that the guarantee is, even in this process, like somebody, he had to say the feds are the guarantors, because I couldn't fathom how in the world could I walk into a bank, the same people that ain't going to give me no loan any other time, and now I can walk in and I don't got to have no collateral and no credit score. And I just think that there have been a lot of people in business, particularly black people, that have run up against these walls, right? And so they say, man, they check out of it, so they ain't even trying to do if it ain't a check coming in the mail, I ain't got time to take no more time to be filling out your 3 years of paperwork for y'all to tell me that I don't qualify. Right. And it's essentially what happens. Carrie talks about, she always tells people, well, you didn't fill out the paperwork, or you didn't sign up and register on the site. And for a new crop of people, that makes sense. For an old crop of people, I never had more trouble in my business until I started filling out all that paperwork shit with the city and the state and the county. After that, that's when I was doing great in the private space. When I started trying to go after all that stuff you talking about, that's when the feds and all type of, and then the Madagoons come tell me I get a contract and they want $2 million of my $3 million, right? And it's like, I'll give you $1 million, but damn. And it's like, I think that there is a stigma. It's easy for y'all to say fill it out, but it's like, if you're not tracking it all the way through, you all would come up with a program, they would say, here, fill out the paperwork, and then y'all say, great, we created it. Then they hand it off to the white boy who said, fuck these niggas, we gonna tell all these white boys, come get this program that was set aside, and you don't manage the process through it. There are so many good programs that I think people created, and the white folks and the Latinos figure out how to use it and kick us to the curb.
See, this is where our neighborhood system breaks. So this is where, in the old days, now I don't think we have, but this is where like Highland Bank and Seaway Bank, that's where they should have fallen in, where you're saying, I'm going to start, I have a business, around the corner, I'm getting $50,000 from this SB, SPIF, and the alderman is working with me. You should loan me this money because it's real because of the relationship, and it should work in that circle.
It should, but it doesn't, and it's all broken down. And then what happens is, like, until y'all got some success stories that you can put up, right? Because the success stories go run and hide, Once they get through, they go running high. So the Negroes that making money, that figured it out, they got blessed through because somebody took the time to walk them all the way through the process. If you don't take the time to walk them all the way through the process, the white people that you got underneath you are going to devour them in the process. It happens every single time. Oh, the magic that American love can bring. So baby, be mine. Baby, you gotta be mine. And girl, I give you all I got to give. So baby, be mine, girl. And we can share this ecstasy as long as we believe in love. I don't give you reason to change your mind. I guess you thrill me, baby, be my go all the future that I desire. Doesn't need to hold you. Show you my feelings and the weight of love's embrace. Show you all the magic that the play my heart today. Nothing will fade, so baby mine. Baby, you gotta be mine. And girl, I give you all I got to give. So baby mine, girl. And we're everything this world to me. The reason that I live. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Todd. And if we did not have the First Lady of Medicine on the live line, I might have had to let that one play. But you know what? When you got the First Family of Medicine on the live line, you ain't got no choice but to cut the music, even if it's like
her head was bobbing.
You think? I know she was. You know, Dr. Whittaker be getting it into. Dr. Whittaker probably somewhere doing her dance on the phone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Whittaker, welcome back to the WVON morning show. How are you?
Baby, be mine. Yeah. Oh.
Look, okay, Dr. Whittaker around there. Look, Dr. Whittaker, you owe me for this. You owe me for this because I know he probably somewhere like, yeah, baby. But Dr. Whittaker, y'all, love Dr. Cheryl Whittaker. And Doc, I know you don't got a lot of time today, but one of the things I just want to run by you is yesterday. We had a guest on. And I got so many calls because she told us that oregano oil was proven to kill coronavirus. Now, let me just tell you something. Yesterday is how I kind of found out we had a whole bunch of people listening to the morning show. Because I got so many people calling me, asking me, was this true? Then I get a text from the first doctor, and the first doctor like, oregano oil, I'm concerned. And so I said, we got to get the First Family of Black Medicine on the show to tell us what is fact, what is fiction. Dr. Whittaker, can oregano oil kill the coronavirus?
Well, what I want to be clear on is that essential oils have been around for generations, right? As long as there's been plants. Hippocrates, back in the age of the Greek dynasty, that was BC, before Christ, used essential oils for healing. So I do want to acknowledge that, guys, that oregano oil does and is known to have antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. So let's say that. Let's give oregano oil credit, right? But what I actually wanted to go look this up as well, and I did. In the test tubes, it's been seen that it can stop a virus from entering your cells. Not coronavirus, okay, but a virus, okay? So sometimes people extrapolate that to corona, but but these are in very small studies, right? Because we haven't really studied essential oils to know everything we can know. But what can we say about oregano oil? It has antioxidant properties. It has anti-inflammatory and antiviral properties. Okay? And it's available in health food stores.
Not today, not after yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm telling you, everybody was calling like, I got to go get me some of that.
Well, here, what I want people to just be careful, okay? As an essential oil, you don't take essential oils directly, right? You must dilute them. They can burn, like basically burn your insides. They're very concentrated. It's the most concentrated part of that plant.
Really?
When you're pulling away the oregano. Yeah.
I thought
essential oil, that's why people usually use them in diffusers, right? Or there are special preparations for you taking them orally.
Oh, see, because I'm going to tell you, I was getting ready to go get some in a medicine dropper and just take like 3 shots a day. I was like, what? So I can't do that. It'll burn your mouth?
Well, essential oils are very concentrated, and oregano is one of those that will burn. So you have to dilute it or buy a preparation that you can take orally.
That's how you would know it was working, Maze.
Right, that's what my daddy used to tell me. See, now I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you, Doc. I think I know what the cure for coronavirus is, really.
What is it?
Dr. Tishner's. Did you ever have Dr. Tishner's straight?
Obviously, your parents gave you that. Huh?
Oh, my parents like, whatever it was, I had a home remedy. It was either Dr. Tishner's, Robitussin, or ginger ale. And if you couldn't get that, then it was a hot toddy. And it was like...
No, hot toddy, my grandmother used to say. You need a hot toddy?
I used to be like, can I get one of them hot toddies? Doc, let me ask another question.
I gotta go to school.
I'm a little confused on the guidance of masks. Do we wear them? Do we not wear them? It seems like initially we were told that... I remember I was wearing a mask in the airport back in January, and people were saying that I might be racist. Now we're looking at no, I'm serious. It was me and the Chinese people in the airport, and we was the only people with masks on. And the people...
You're always ahead of your time here.
I tried, I'm telling you. And then I said, baby, I told Carrie, you got to put a mask on. And she felt so bad, she had to write a message on hers that said, it's not you, it's me. Right? But I was like, I'm worried, I'm nervous. And then I put on the mask, and they was like, you're racist. Now they talking about everybody's supposed to wear a mask. What should we believe, Doc?
So let's talk about that. Great question. What we're learning about Corona, guys, is evolving in real time. But you can look ahead. Look at the Chinese, okay? They're all wearing masks in China. Okay, that's number one.
They was wearing them in January.
Yeah.
Exactly. But number two, what we're learning, guys, is that you can be asymptomatic and spread this thing. If you look at the cases in Albany, Georgia, which is where my brother lives, a bunch of people were at a funeral, and then before you know it, like 90 people are dead in that small town, okay? There is a choir in Seattle, in Washington State, went to choir practice a couple of months ago, a month and a half ago. 65 of them, all healthy, all a little bit older. 6 or 7 of them are dead, and several are in the hospital on intubators. So we know that this thing spreads. We think when you laugh, when you spit, when you sneeze, of course, you can get it. So this way, we're protecting ourselves against those micro droplets, and I think the scientists now are just starting to realize that. Have you guys heard them talk about all these models that they're doing to sort of project when the apex will be or when most of the cases will occur? Well, there's no way we can get to where we've gotten to without somebody healthy shedding the virus and sharing it, okay? So this mask says, don't run out and get a surgical mask, though, guys, because the hospitals are struggling to get those. You can wear a bandana.
Wait a minute. I had one on yesterday, and they said I was trying to rob the place.
It scared me.
I'm telling you, brothers, don't go buy bandanas. It's not going to end well for black people walking around with bandanas. I'm just telling you. I feel you, Doc, but don't do the bandanas. Go ahead. What else?
Okay. How about a scarf?
Okay.
How about a handkerchief? Or you can make one. I mean, a lot of us have kente cloth at home, pieces of it that we can cut and fashion a mouth and a nose covering. But so that I do want our listening audience to do that. I don't want us to do a run on selling masks. I know when I drive down 95th that somebody's going to be on the side selling masks. I'm asking us not to do that.
Dang, Doc, I just ordered. Okay, hold on, because I just ordered a whole shipment of KN95 masks, and I'm breaking them up into packs, right? And I'm bagging them up, and you can buy 5, and I throw in some gloves, and you can get them all safe and sanitary. You telling me I can't do that?
And some oranges.
Right. Well, I'm not doing no fruit. You can do that from the. I don't want to cannibalize everybody. But this is my new hustle. I'm saying, you saying I can't, not the surgical mask, but Doc, there's people out here worried about masks. This is a new economy.
It is. My niece makes masks. She crochets masks now.
I'm going to back off that and stick to my clinical recommendations,
okay.
which are, yes, cover your mouth and nose.
Okay.
And guys, the other thing, before I'm gone, keep your circle small. Guys, I want you to still acknowledge the physical distancing piece. So even if you start covering your mouth and nose, let's keep your circle small. Don't host a dinner party. Don't get together tonight with people you aren't with all week and play spades or play cards. Like, you got to keep the physical distance until we know more. And number 2, guys, Illinois is just starting to get the Abbott new test where they, in 5 minutes, you can know your results. Okay? They haven't rolled it out yet, but now testing is coming. And that's going to be our key to be able to get from under some of these very kind of harsh shelter in place regulations right now. So I want you all to be patient, because very soon tests are coming. The cavalry is here. That's our key to be able to break loose from COVID-19, a big part of it. So those tests are coming. I hope that they'll be in production and distribution in the next week or a couple of weeks, so that people who want to get tested can get tested.
Now, Doc, I gotta jump in there, because the cavalry ain't coming yet. We gonna have the testing, but I just am a little bit nervous about telling black folks that the cavalry is coming, because then we rest on our laurels. We got to make sure that we are still preparing ourselves. But I tell you what, Doc, it's always a pleasure to have the First Lady of Medicine in Chicago on the WVON Morning Show. And we'll be looking to talk to you again next week, because I'm sure I'm going to have some new myths and rumors that I need to get cleared up. Because I'm telling you, man, everybody keep coming to me with a new cure. I'm telling you, somebody gave me another cure yesterday, and I was like, man, I can't be boiling. They told us. Let me stop. I'm not even going to go there. Doc, let me ask one quick question. My cousin told me to ask you, can cannabinoids kill this virus?
You know what? You're right. Cannabinoids do have anti-inflammatory properties, but I don't know yet, Maze. And can I look into that and get back to you next week? Could it do anything?
Well,
I'll look into it.
Can you look into it? And if there's any samples, he said he'll take them. Hey, y'all, it's the WVON Morning Show. It is the First Lady of Medicine. It is Dr. Cheryl Whittaker. She is right here with us. And when we come back, y'all, we will continue our conversation. Talk Chicago.
More of the Morning Show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago.
Talk.
Sonia. Todd is violating it's like every minute the people just scream at Todd. They're like, you are violating every social distance. Oh my goodness. This shit is hilarious. Oh.
Hi, Dorothy.
first 5 years I had it.
Everybody does. That's how my boat was.
Yeah. Todd. My banana today.
Funky, cause I heard it from here. Say, jam that the love that don't be getting no airplay. Strictly for frontin' when you're running around. 12 o'clock at night with your windows down. Headlights stricken cause your battery's drained. On a big gold chain. Just the outside with the dip-pop spots. Push the EQ and play connect the dots. People to the side, people everywhere. Ain't no room for a spare. No, we got heart attack. They don't understand how I act this way. Whipping up the funky beat till the break of day. Everybody was saying I'm riding by, and the girls be on my cause my system's fly. Girls riding by with the booming system. The cars ride by with the booming system. Cars ride by with the booming system. Cars ride by with the booming system. Wanna ride with a brother like me, cause they be hear me getting funky frequently. They tell me don't drink and drive. I say, what is this? Mr. Mankin and mind your business. Roll up a fat one and pass it around. By the hip hop sounds. And the somebody said, I'm frontin', and I don't care if you know. Seat of my car's like a disco show. Think I was a good friend of Al Capone. Freshener, who needs cologne? Bottom to the top. Woo, it's 3 o'clock. For the jump, I got the funky drama drumming, written and rattling. Oh, the should be babbling. I'm showing off my ring. Break a dome, and my sister. Hey y'all, it's the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host Todd Stroger. Todd, I think my age caught up with me on that one.
Okay.
Cause I used to know that one backwards and forwards. And then
it's gotta be in the 80s. It sounds so 80-ish.
No. That's the 90s.
No.
That cars riding by the booming system. Let me say, So that has to be 1991 or 2.
No,
what is it?
That's the same thing.
Okay, 90. Okay, I'll take that. That's the same year I crossed, right? Okay, so I got it. I mean, I was right in the right spot. That album actually came out. That's the Mama Said Knock You Out album, right? That was when he came back. And that was when the Mama Said Knock You Out album. Y'all remember when LL came back? Because remember he was doing like stuff like Walking with the Panther.
He was never gone.
Yeah, but you know how you have ebbs and flows. There was he had about 2 albums where he was kind of like, yeah, LL may have lost it. And then it was like, he dropped Mama Said Knock You Out. Remember, because he was like, I'm that kind of guy that love you in a bed. I'm that kind of guy. And we was kind of like, wait a minute, you did I'm bad! And you said, I'm that kind of guy. But then remember when he did,
hey,
I'm going back.
Rappers make love songs?
Yeah, but you make the epitome of love songs, which is, I need love. And then I need love, and then you come back with that. But then, remember he did, I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. I'm going back to styling. You know what though? Remember that movie? What was that movie it came from? Remember, because it was with Robert Downey, and he was like the gay rich kid who was on the drug addict. He was a drug addict. That's like
Zero?
Yeah, below zero, less than zero. Yeah. I'm telling you, Todd. That's what made me. I
knew what was happening. I couldn't finish it. He was getting so out of hand.
Well, that's why I have a hard time with him as Iron Man, right? Because so Iron Man, I've seen Iron Man swallow. He liked Iron Man in that movie, right? But that was like
he liked anything for some drugs,
right? Remember, he was the first though. But you remember he came out as like he was early in the game bisexual.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, and I was like, no, dude, that's gay. And I was like, no.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like way back. First of all,
you know where I remember him from? I remember from Back to School.
Back to School?
With Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, I don't remember him from that.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
Well, I get no respect.
That was a long time ago.
No respect. And I tell you, I get no respect. That Rodney Dangerfield. Dang. Ty, you know, me and Carrie was watching some movies, and we were thinking about we were watching
Thinking about me?
No.
No.
No. When you come up, we're not thinking, we're talking. We usually talk about you.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
But Todd, we were thinking about the old movies, and I was just thinking, do you remember 16 Candles?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, I loved...
With Molly Ringwald, right?
I loved Molly Ringwald.
Oh,
movies.
man, that is like the epitome of... Is that the 80s? That's the 80s,
yes,
right?
and that was up in the North... That was
Hughes. That's
John Hughes.
the epitome of a John Hughes movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of... But, you know, like... So, Carrie had never seen it.
Huh.
Right? Well, I thought it was... Well, hold on. Let's back up. Carrie, look at you're saying this on me. Oh, well, hold on. The thing was... Carrie, this is it. Carrie was saying... Dong, right? That she was like... If you watch 16 Candles, which was a classic movie for me...
Yeah.
It is like... Now, if you watch it, I bet my kids will be like, this is so racist! Look, think about this.
Children do say things like that now.
Well, think about this. In 16 Candles, they had a Chinese who played into every stereotype that they possibly could have had, right? Right? And he was the foster kid of two prejudiced old white folks, right? Then think about this.
Wasn't he an exchange student?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about this, though. Think about Molly Ringwald was chasing Jake, and Jake, when he finally got with her, gave his girlfriend drugs or alcohol, got her drunk, and then passed her to the freshman, and then the freshman did it. I mean, it was like date rape. It was so much stuff in this. Remember? Think about it.
Now that you started to make it look like that, like, uh-oh.
No, Carrie was telling me about it, and she was just like, I mean... Because I was like, oh my God, 16 Candles. And I was like, I can't wait to watch it. And then it was like, you know, I'm good for the first 20 minutes.
You fell asleep.
And then I fell asleep. She said I stayed up watching that because I couldn't believe. And I was telling her how great it was. And she was like, I mean, Dad, they was doing drugs.
I'm surprised you didn't wake up because she hit you with a pillow or something. Like, what happened?
I was just thinking, though, we don't think about what fun that we have in the 80s that is just not acceptable anymore. So much. So much. 1984. What? 90? What you say? 84? You were born in 84? Oh, okay. Dang. Yeah, as a baby. In 80. Todd, did you enjoy the 80s? What was your best decade?
God, I love the 80s.
I feel like I love the 80s.
You don't remember I'm 18 in 81. So.
Oh, my God. Oh, you kicked it. You kicked it. Todd, you wasn't in... I'm not going to find some video, somebody coming... like a VHS tape of you with an afro. You know, you weren't partaking in none of that crazy stuff they were doing in the 80s.
No. I didn't have as much fun as
you was going to
probably think.
I didn't think you were having that much fun. I mean, you told me you told me you married your first girlfriend, right?
No, I didn't marry my first girlfriend.
Oh, but your second.
No, you make fun of me because my first girlfriend was in 1981.
And on that note, we'll be back, and y'all, when we come back, you remember them as the Bad Boys, Mike Love and the Diz. Well, they are back with a new podcast called Chicago Famous. Todd, they recorded at the Intelligence Group, but I can't wait. When we come back, Mike Love and the Diz, they're not the Bad Boys anymore. They are Chicago Famous. We'll be back. You got like the birthday line, any of that stuff?
David Brown is set to become Chicago's next top cop. The state health department is starting to...
Tanil, you got to send it. I can't find nothing in the folders right now. You know, I can't concentrate like that.
Hospital is the first Southside community hospital that will offer COVID-19.
Sonia, see if you can find the Bad Boys, the mix they had with, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. With, you know what I'm talking about? The Benjamins mixed with like, it had fucking Crucial Conflict. I wouldn't doubt it, but it's probably on YouTube. Like, cause I like to come back with that. Oh, after we come out of, and then if we can find their birthday, who's this on the birthday line is? Sonia. What's your zodiac sign?
Aries. All the Aries this year. We good.
President Trump has suggested both the Saudis and Russia begin massive cuts in production, as high as 10 million barrels a day. A virtual meeting between the world's biggest oil producers is now set for Monday. I'm John Trout. More than 1 million cases of coronavirus worldwide, according to Johns Hopkins University. Nearly a quarter of that total is in the U.S., with medical supplies running out. Dr. Anthony Fauci of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases is among those who support the idea of people wearing masks during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Maria Van Kerkhove with the World Health Organization said masks must be prioritized for healthcare workers.
These are people who have lives on the line to help us to care for other people, and they must be protected.
I'm Joe Lawrence, reporter. Sailors from the USS Roosevelt have been taken off the vessel at the Navy base in Guam and placed in quarantine in local hotels.
While in quarantine in the local hotels, military personnel will be conducting daily health checks of the sailors. Admiral Manoni says the quarantine sailors have a simple mission: to stay healthy and mission ready.
Correspondent Mindy DeGunn. I'm John Trout.
No. Benjamin, you don't got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. And any birthday?
Yeah, that's up next.
Okay. So let's start with the,
I think Benjamin, that should go hard.
yeah, the Benjamins is right after you come out of the intro.
Who's it? Mike Love and who else, Maze?
The Diz.
Two of these now.
Back in the day. Mike Love and the Diz. Mike Love and the Diz. Mike Love and the Diz. Did you know Mike Love and the Diz, Todd?
Yeah, I know they are. I can't actually say I listen to it, but I know they are. Assembly Stand P guy. That sounds like trouble.
I can't find Mike Love on Facebook. We can't tag him. Tag him to them. Put him in the bra. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. What up? Who is rocking with us right now? What's up to Antonia? Okay, Diz. All right, and Diz. What up, Patizzle? Patah? What up, Constance? What up? You got their intro for their new podcast too? I still want the Benjamins first though.
Rise and shine.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up!
Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show.
Wake up!
Call 773-591.
This Chicago.
Wait, I gotta hear. We gotta hear Crucial. Crucial. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. But hey, Todd, you know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Jennifer Thompson in the newsroom, as well as the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. But y'all, I know, I went a little bit longer, but let me take you back. Let me take you back, and you're going to have to chop that up because I'm going to have to play the rest of that for the rest of the day. Let me take you back to, I think it was 1999, Todd. I was the director of urban marketing for Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola bottling company in Chicago. I had just signed Common, then he was known as Common Sense, to his first endorsement deal for the brand Sprite. And the team at Coca-Cola said to me, Maze, who are the hottest people in Chicago? Who is the number, if you had to say who is the epitome of Chicago and we got to sign them to a deal, who would it be? And without a second thought, Mike Love and the Diz, the Bad Boys, came to mind because they were the icons of Chicago radio. When they replaced Rick Party, nobody thought they'd be able to do it. And then times change in the world of radio, etc. And now, guys, Mike Love and the Diz, the Bad Boys, are back. But they're not the Bad Boys anymore. They are now launching a new podcast called Chicago Famous. And I am excited to have them on air. WVON family, welcome back welcome back to the mainstream. But You know what? It's not. They never left, y'all. Welcome, Mike Love. Welcome, Diz. How y'all doing, fellas?
What's going on, player?
Hey.
All right. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, first of all, this is not the time that people were used to hearing you. So I know it's a little bit different. But Mike Love and the Diz, you all, in my estimation, were the epitome of Chicago in the late 90s and early 2000s. I'm going to tell you, I feel like that was the golden era of Chicago. But you guys are back, right? You've been through some trials and tribulations, but you are back with a new podcast. So let's go back. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the origins of Mike Love and the Diz, and then let's go to what you're doing now.
Man, I don't even know where we're going to start there. In fact, we can start with episode 1 of the Chicago Famous podcast, and we can tell you all about how we got together and how we got things started.
Now I'm going to tell you, y'all got to check out the Chicago Famous podcast. It will make you laugh. It will make you, I'm not going to cry. Sonia cried. It will make you have nostalgia. It will take you back, and it will remind you of a golden era. But guys, I listened to the first episode, and everybody loved Mike Love and the Diz coming up. The birthday, man, everybody loved him. But one of the things that I found out in the podcast was that first of all, you guys weren't the best of friends that people thought you were on air. And when you were separated, literally, you guys didn't talk to each other for how many years?
For 12 years.
Yeah, 12, 13, yeah, 12, like to say 12 and a half.
Wait.
And so, the crazy thing about it is we live about 2 miles away from each other.
Think about this. So you all essentially really reprogrammed the way Chicago thought. You all were the guys that brought Chicago to Chicago radio, right? When you think about...
And that's why we figured that we could make it all happen again. It's because the reason why it worked in the first place, Maze, was that you had two hungry young guys that, just wanted nothing but the championships. We were coming out of the Chicago Bulls area, the great Chicago Bulls era of the 90s, and we had the same mindset. So we were like the Michael and Scotty of radio. Maybe we didn't, hang out with each other off the court, but once we stepped in the studio, it was all about those championships. So the most important thing for us, in 2019, when we sat down and talked about, getting back together, was there was no way that we could miss this legacy that we had everywhere that we went. For the previous 12 years that we were apart, people put us together. People mentioned our names. They would ask me, whatever happened to the Diz? They would ask him, whatever happened to you and Mike Love? So when we sat down in the park that day and talked about possibly getting back together and doing something, it was really just about that legacy that existed all of those years and embracing the legacy and to stop running away from it, which is what we had basically done all those years.
So let me ask
one thing that I'll just piggyback on.
And that's the Diz. That was Mike Love. And then, guys, make sure you let people know who's talking.
Oh, yeah, okay. So it's Diz. So, but the one thing that was always constant was our vision. I mean, we may have not seen eye to eye on things friendship-wise or the things that we did, but when it came to being success and doing what we do in radio, our vision was always the same. And it was the same back in 1995 when we got together, and it's the same in 2020 going forward. And I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, like I said, we got to sit down, talk about what has been going on, because we both have had our own lives since Bad Boy Radio. Mike has been on a station, I've been on a station, he's done his thing, I did my thing. But like you said, we have a legacy here in the world of Chicago radio that, no matter where we go, we can't run from it. We run into people all the time. People grew up on us, just like people will say they grew up on Tom Joyner, they grew up on Herb Kent, but they grew up on Mike Love and the Diz too. And that's something that, we no longer want to run from anymore. And if people want to hear us and hear what we got to say, we're all for it. So welcome Chicago Famous.
Man, Chicago Famous is the podcast. I'm going to tell y'all, you all download it. We're going to be talking about that. But one of the things you guys both talk about is legacy. And what I want to do is take that legacy from the past and bring it all the way to the present when we come back. Because you know what, guys? I would tell you that there was a time in Chicago that people don't remember when Chicago was not welcome so much in Chicago radio. You know, when people thought of the Kanyes of the world and the all of these guys that now have these relationships, there was a time when it wasn't cool to be Chicago. And when we come back, we are going to talk about what you all did to make Chicago, put Chicago's music on the map. That's why I thought it was so important to play the Benjamin's remix. When we come back, we'll play your new intro voiced with Rick Party. But I do want to make sure we talk about your legacy, and then we'll talk about how people should subscribe. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
Man, bro. Who's this on the birthday line? Y'all remember. Tell me what's your zodiac sign?
Yeah. What time did they come on?
6 to 10.
And
then Al Greer came on right after them with the Slow Jam.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, so real talk, me, Mike Love, and the Diz reformed the way that they did radio contracts in Illinois. So basically, Coke, we weren't getting what we wanted out of Coca-Cola from an advertising standpoint. So I came up with the idea to sign the DJs directly to a contract. And so they signed a contract with us outside of the station. But the contract that we had them sign said they could not mention Pepsi at all in anything that they did. So it was like, here we got a binding contract with your evening host, and Pepsi's trying to buy the evening sponsorship, but we got them tied up so they could buy and they could play it, but they can't say it. Wow. And it was so epic. Marv Dyson literally called me in and said, I will never ever, you got me on this one, I will never ever ever let you get me again. I had some good times in this world. I was just thinking about, I remember one time Marv Dyson called me. We were the promotions team we took over the promotions for Power 92 because they couldn't afford to have a promotions team. And so I staffed the promotions team with all returning ex-offenders. Right? Because they were disciplined. You told them what to do, they would do it. They didn't, because they were used to the order of, and if you've been making 6 cents an hour and I tell you I'm going to pay you $15 an hour. So they took street promotions. Everybody else was hiring college interns. I was hiring returnings. So like when it would be time to put up signs, they'd be like, you can't put them signs here. They're like, we're the radio station. You can't put them here. This is Power 92 land. The reason Power 92's tagline is #1 in the streets, I wrote that.
Yeah,
because
to reflect your workers, huh?
Yeah. But it was like,
Chicago Famous with Mike Love and Diz. Rate, review, like, share, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts.
Change is the law of life. If you believe in yourself, you will always find a way.
It's the Chicago Famous Podcast with Mike Love and Diz.
1 2 1 2. All right, we are here. This is the first episode. Oh,
look at this.
I know, right? back together.
Wow.
After all these years. Who would have expected it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Love and Diz back with the Chicago Famous Podcast. I think it was time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was time. I think enough time has passed from where we started to where we are now that we get together and kind of talk about how it started, what happened in the middle, and where we're going down the road.
Yeah, so, how we got it all back together.
That's the whole thing, because, I mean, if there's ever a story, we should tell it.
Exactly, because other people have told our stories or tried to tell the story.
Tried to tell the story.
Right.
Like, who told
you ever be that? Like, fam, I was there.
Right, and they look at you like you crazy. No, man, I remember at that concert with Redman and Method Man, you said, I'm like, no, I have the air check. Right. I can go back and listen to it.
Hey, y'all, that is the intro to the first episode of Chicago famous. Hey, my girl Sonia Escobar helped put that together. Shout out to Tennille Jackson, my sister, who has been working with them on the digital space. And guys, they recorded at the Intelligence Group Studios, which is something that's owned by, I guess, the guy you know talking on the morning show right now. But fellas, I want to. I know what, man. I want to be of service.
What is your saying? Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Whatever you need, bro. Whatever we got it. It's yours.
Whatever you guys need. Yeah. Thank you.
So let me do this real quick, guys. Well, the thing I want to ask, because I don't know if people are talking about they don't know sometimes. Talk to me about the legacy of Mike Love and the Diz, because I don't think people in Chicago really remember. A lot of people don't remember when Chicago was not really welcome in Chicago radio, and you guys brought Chicago, the real Chicago, to the air. Talk to me about some of the things that you all brought and originated in Chicago.
You know what? I'll start and I'll pass it off to the Diz. One of the things that you stated before we went off into commercials, Maze, this is Mike, is really about bringing Chicago artists to the forefront of Chicago radio. And although you would, occasionally hear an artist pop in rotation, WGCI at the time in the 90s when we started in 97 really wasn't about playing much rap, not outside of 6 to 10 and not during 6 to 10. So I remember Diz and I went to New York and we started hearing, all of their artists doing promos, all of their artists doing drops and things of that nature. And we thought to ourselves, man, that needs to be something that we bring to our radio, not radio intros and promos like, what we ended up doing with All About the Bad Boys. Woo! And that was kind of the catalyst to bring Chicago artists to the forefront, was hearing them being, artists being embraced in other cities and saying, we need to do that in our own city, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can definitely say that when we went to New York radio sounded like New York.
Man.
We turned on the dial and we heard Peter Guns and Lord Tariq. We heard Eric Sermon. I remember we turned around and we went out to L.A. for an award show or something. But, I mean, everything on L.A. radio was Mac 10, Dub C, Ice Cube. And we just felt at that time, we were like, look, this is the third biggest media market in the country. And yet we don't have any of our artists on the radio. And at the time you had The Brat, you had Twista, you had Crucial Conflict, you had Common. We were like, we want people who come into Chicago to know that they're in Chicago. They turn on the radio and they're like, wow, this is Chicago radio. So we set the bar high for ourselves and for the people that we wanted to get involved in what we were doing. We were like, look, this is how we wanted to be represented. This is how we wanted to sound, and we just put it together, and that's the way we worked it for Bad Boy Radio.
Talk to me about the birthday line, man, because the birthday line, Sonya, you got a clip of that, because I'm going to tell you, I used to be like, what I got to do to get on the birthday line? Play it, Sonya.
What?
I bet everybody still remember this.
Every day about 8:45, we keep it alive. Something we call the Bad Boy Birthday Bash. Well, it's often in the city is Chi-Town. Yeah, dude, we get down. Mike Love and Diz. You know the biz. Southside, West Side, wow. It's time to ride. Who's this on the birthday line?
It's Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine, what's your zodiac sign?
It's Leo.
What is the day your birthday?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And how old are you on this day?
I'm 49.
Go, Jasmine.
Go, Liz. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday, Jasmine. Where you from?
Mike Love, the Diz. Can I tell you what? Todd is in here laughing because, can I tell you what?
Because I didn't really listen to radio.
But you knew that.
Like nothing.
Look, Todd Stroger is in here.
Todd Stroger, come on.
The birthday bash?
The birthday. Come on, man.
Oh, no, he says he knows it.
Oh, no, that's what I know. That's the only thing I know about you guys. You are famous to me because of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing that will outlive us. That is our true legacy marker right there. The birthday line is the thing that people still do. People still tag us in statuses on Facebook and they record them and they post them on their timeline. People still do that. That song, that the legacy of that, I think that is, again, our marker. And it just really was based on the fact that every day is somebody's birthday. So we would just bring everybody together, put them on the radio, and knock it out. And, you know, Diz was telling the story about, you know, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama even knowing, you know, the birthday line, right?
Yeah. I'm going to play that to my children who are 16 and 20, and I'm sure they're going to pass that on to their friends. Like, hey, did you ever hear this?
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting. Like I said, Mike said, the birthday bash will outlive us. When we're long gone, the birthday bash will still roll on. And, you know, to this day, people will always bring it up in conversation somewhere. And, you know, like I said, we went places. And like I said, I brought up Oprah, I brought up Barack Obama. But if you listen to the podcast, here's an interesting nugget. If you listen to the Chicago Famous podcast, I actually think I tell the oldest person do the birthday bash.
Oh, yes, you do.
The youngest person do the birthday bash. And that's something to check out.
Well, let me tell y'all. Let me back this up real quick, because I've got on here and got nostalgic talking about the bad boys, but really the whole point is Chicago Famous. You know, I'm 49 years old, and I'm going to tell you that I feel like my era was the best era. And Mike Love and the Diz were a big chunk of the soundtrack and navigated Chicago into the big scene. What I want to tell you all to do is to go check out the Chicago Famous podcast, because you're going to hear crazy stories. I mean, the fact that you guys didn't talk for 12 and a half years, even though you live right down the street from each other, to see you all rebuild, rebrand yourselves, recreate yourselves, re-innovate, right? Re-innovate again and again, and not necessarily always be appreciated for the things that you have brought here. So let me do this, guys. What I want to do is tell everybody to go to Mike Love and Diz. That's Diz with 2Z's.com. That's Mike Love and Diz.com. And I want you to download the Chicago Famous podcast, and then I want you all to subscribe. Because Mike Love and the Diz, your legacy in Chicago cannot be denied. And I think it's time that we make sure that we give our people our flowers. Can I tell y'all one more thing? One of my favorite stories?
Sure.
My favorite story about Mike Love and the Diz is when I told y'all Coca-Cola told me to find the hottest people in Chicago, and I was like, Mike Love and the Diz. And I got the contract signed, and remember, you guys were signing the Coke, and Pepsi was trying to buy some feature, and Marv Dyson called, because he was like, we can't do it, we signed the Coke. And Marv Dyson called me and he said, "Oh, never ever let you work again in this town after this." But it was like Marv Dyson just made the radar. But it is that Mike Love and the Diz, when Coca-Cola wanted to figure out who were the hottest people in Chicago, they came up with Common Sense. Before he was Common. And Mike Love and the Diz. Mike Love and the Diz had billboards, 14 by 48 spectacular billboards, bigger than some of the largest companies and brands out there. And it was because Bad Boy Radio represented Chicago, and now it's Chicago Famous, y'all. Tell everybody, I'm going to give y'all a chance to close. I know I talked to your interview. I'm sorry.
No, this is Mike, and I want to say thank you to you, Maze. I mean, I've said thank you to you many, many times over the years for that, because Diz is posting a lot of video on his Facebook page, and we're going to be posting that footage to our YouTube channel as well. That's Mike Love and Diz as well. But it's easy to forget because it was 23, 22, 20 years ago. But, you know, when you look back at how big all of that was, the fact that we had a Coca-Cola deal, and yeah, you have, you know, radio personalities who have, you know, deals with liquor companies, you know, to this day. But nothing as big as that with, I mean, a brand like Coca-Cola that is a family brand, and no one has done anything like that ever since. No one did it before. So thank you to you for making that possible for us to continue to make our legacy and our brand at the time even bigger. So, yeah, that's it for me. I just wanted to say that.
Hey, I got to cut. First of all, thank you both, Mike Love, Diz. I appreciate you. Everybody go to MikeLoveandDiz.com. Y'all, Mike Love, the Diz, you listen to a lot of us. We were trying to put Chicago on our back and make it. So it was all of us working together collectively, even if there was competition. Hey, y'all, it's the Top of Chicago 1690. When we come back, it's Tell Me Something Good Friday. Mike Love and the Diz, man, it was great to talk to you. We'll be back.
Let me bang with your friends. 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 Let me bang what your mama gave you.
Y'all remember the 20-second workout? And I hate it, but that workout was off the chain. So,
here's our news now.
That was nice.
Huh?
That was cool.
David Brown is set to become Chicago's next
These gloves, powder all over the place.
Let me bang!
I think I might stop by these.
No, there was a time before they were on air when Elroy Smith, Mark Dyson, they would be like, we play the hits. If you ain't a hit, we ain't playing you. And so nobody from Chicago could get on the air. And so when they first did that, like the Bad Boys, like, I mean, you have to understand, like, nobody from Chicago was on the radio. Nobody. It was like, they was like, we are going to be the best of both coasts. And there was nothing, GCI was like there was nothing else. Right? And then Power 92 came, and even to this day they came. I mean, but Power 92, we told them, take hip hop. It's funny because nobody, like, it'd be revisionist history. But I still got all the contracts, and I still got all the stuff in writing. I'm so glad I don't throw away stuff. Mm-hmm. So I told, I was in the meetings, and I told Jay Allen, who was the program director at the time, because we had worked together here, right? I told him, I said, you're never going to beat GCI because you don't have the budget and the ownership. So you shouldn't be don't try to be number one in Arbitron. Be number one in the streets. And be the street station. And you outwork GCI because GCI is such a big monolith. We went so hard, like literally. My street team was so crazy. Marv Dyson literally wrote a letter and asked me after he had told me I'll never work again, called and said, could you please call your guys off because we're concerned someone's going to get hurt out here. I was like, you're concerned because you got college interns. I got goons. And you're right, somebody will get hurt if they don't. Man, I had some great, you know what, I feel like I have a chip on my shoulder because I was not accepted by the local Chicago hip hop community. Like, you know how Biz Marquis be like, I wanted to be down with a lot of MC DJ crews in town. Can I be down with Noble Street Champ? Can I be? And they would be like, no, right? So all the hottest promoters I tried to be part of their clique or whatever because I was just hip hop and I'd come home from Chicago and they wouldn't. So me and Big Swill just started our own thing, and then I became the director of urban marketing at Coke, and I was the first person to get a local corporation to invest in local hip hop, right? And so like that Mike Love and the Diz deal was part of when I did them, and then we had signed Common. It was like we weren't trying to. I was like, I'm not signing nobody from New York. I had a budget. I could have signed pretty much anybody, and I was like, I'm only signing Chicago people, only. Right? I did the first corporate mixtape, the Sprite mixtape, where I got Sprite to pay for a studio and told every rapper in the whole city, y'all gave you a free hour to come do whatever you can. Kanye came, everybody came. So I got tapes of everybody just rapping and freestyling.
Too bad you didn't have a camera back then, huh?
No, I got video of it.
Oh, you have video?
Yeah, it's just on VHS. It's like, it's so crazy to me. So it's like, I feel sometimes like
a documentary.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm probably going to, but it's like, I feel like part of the challenge I have a lot of times is, and I don't want it to be arrogance, is I feel like I've accomplished a lot of stuff that because these people weren't here before, they just don't know. Right? Or because it wasn't social media, or it's this whole new crop of people. But it's like, I mean, like literally, we literally put Chicago on our back. Like when Mike Love and the Diz had a Coca-Cola, everybody could get a liquor deal. They had a Coca-Cola deal where they had 14 by 4, like the gateways to all the black communities.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Love and the Diz was there. Like, as in with a big ass Coca-Cola bottle, like welcome, and people was like, they got a Coke deal, right? Coke truck, Sprite truck. Basically, during that time, my strategy was to go everywhere that all of the other people didn't go.
Right.
So, like, I went to the projects, right? I met, like, for every gang picnic, whatever, I would make sure that the street team brought over cases of pop, right? So now Coca-Cola is showing up to the folks' picnic. It's showing up to the brothers' picnic. They showing up and they like, man, because they got their kids out there, right? And then what would happen is the corner store would be like, man, bro, this is a Coke store. Like, they would straight up be like, man, you laughing, but it worked because, again, if I give you 20 cases of Coke as chief, and the Coke truck pulls up, and you ain't never got access to it, and now all of a sudden Coke, and they pull up in the truck, and they got sounds and bands, and they got a party, and you bring it to the picnic, the brothers be like, man, you did 5 kids.
Right.
Oh, no, Wally ain't gonna sell no more Pepsi. Bro, they got, in Ad Age, they do an article about how I took 2 reporters from Ad Age into Robert Taylor. They were scared as fuck. I told them to get out the car. They got out the car, and all of the buildings emptied. And when they emptied, they started getting scared because all the kids were swarming.
Uh-huh.
Everybody lined up straight, single file, drank they pop, and then put it away. And they wrote it like, oh my God, this guy, we thought we were going to die. Tell me something good. Tell me that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it, yeah. What no time is what you're known to say. I'll make you wish there was 48 hours to each day. Like you should. What I got will show enough do you good. Tell me something.
God.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, this Tell Me Something Good Friday. I'm telling y'all what. I need you all to call me and tell me something good. Hey, man, I'm not letting this corona crisis get me down, Todd.
No.
I'm going to tell you. So, Todd, what you got? You want to tell me something good, man? What you got? Oh, hold on, because we got a caller.
Go.
We got a caller, so I'm going to go to the live line, because Bruh Ball is on the live line. Bruh Ball, how you doing? And are you okay? Because, man, I know you home with the kids. What did you do to them this week?
Going that crazy, man. This I'm getting so many inboxes on my Facebook Messenger. Everybody's got fake doctors, maybe some real doctors. It look like people just putting on smocks and face masks, and just going live and going viral. They coming up with any and everything. But I'll tell you one thing. I just left Home Depot on 87th Street.
Uh-oh.
There's a line to get in. So listen,
you know, I know Todd gonna want to fertilize the grass and do everything this weekend. Todd,
yeah,
you better go outside your element and go to the white people neighborhood. 'Cause I'm sure they just letting you run in and out. I went and got my nails. I'm finna come fix my handrail because, you know, the brothers came over and they was leaning out on my handrail. So, you know, we like leaning when we out, you know, hanging out or whatever. So
I hope y'all was leaning 6 feet apart, man.
No, they, you know, and I just noticed that they was leaning on my rails, so I got to get my handrails together, you know, so when this breaks out and everybody come over and want to bless the porch, you know, hey, man, listen, I'm going to show my age, too. That birthday line, you know what I thought was coming. I thought it was Doug Banks' birthday. I was going to say, whoa, I'm really showing my age. Now, remember the Doug Banks birthday line, too?
I do remember that one, too.
Man, listen, this was a good show, man. I enjoyed myself. Y'all stay safe.
Thank you, Brother Ball. I appreciate you.
Don't be so good with the gloves. I'm seeing a lot of people misuse these gloves. You know, they touching stuff. They getting in their car. They driving with them. So, you know, be careful with these gloves.
Let me tell you what I do with these gloves, man. I use these gloves. I touch everything and I throw them away when I get out of here. Yeah. Right? I'm not worried about cross contaminating anything but my house at this point.
Yeah, I take them off before I get in the car.
All right, but Bob, I appreciate you, man.
Get some sun. Make sure y'all get some sun, man.
But get some sun. Don't be at the park. This is not tan time. I'm gonna tell y'all, brother Bob, you gotta be careful. You tell these people because you know the brothers is coming outside today to get some sun because it's gonna be sunny.
So, come on now, just stay 8 feet apart, man.
All right, thanks, Brother Bob. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all, this is Talk Chicago 1690. Tell me something good Friday. Todd, I want to tell you something good. So, hold on. A couple things. First of all, so can I tell you something good from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District? I was hoping that the president would call us and tell us. But first of all, she said to let everybody know that the water is safe, right? That in spite of this COVID virus, you know, they got people working from home, but it's safe, right? But she also wants y'all to remember that it is a toilet, not a garbage can, not a trash can. Now, I really feel like they made that meme because of me. You know why?
Why?
Because, you know, when it say flushable wipe, I feel like I can flush it.
No.
But you cannot flush the wipes, even if they say flushable. Right? And so, I gotta tell my son that sometimes. You gotta tell him because I'm telling you, everything say flushable right up until you gotta get your tube rotted. And then the next thing, you really don't want your tube rotted because then when they rot it, all the stuff you've been doing gonna come out. Right? And you really don't want to be everybody seeing your business in the middle of the street. Alright? So, don't flush it down the toilet. Whatever it is, unless it's toilet tissue or number 201. Why you make that face? I'm just trying to tell you it's a toilet. Not a trash can. Look, I'm trying to help y'all. Let a brother do his job.
Yeah, thanks for that
visual image.
Yes.
All right, I got another one. Shout out to Congressman Danny Davis. I'm trying to find the information, but Congressman Danny Davis, and shout out to Mia Romero. They sent Kerry a note suggesting that one of the large, hold on one second, hold on, I think I got it. One of the large, AbbVie is going to announce a number of donations to healthcare systems and to communities responding to COVID-19. As part of that effort, $5 million grant was created for organizations that can apply to support efforts focused specifically on underserved communities. Now, when you all hear about underserved communities, that means black people.
You're right. That's code.
That's code because they can't say black people in the thing because, the Latinos will do it. But I want to say, they said it is a simple application process with a 3 to 4 day approval period. If you apply, please let Congressman Danny Davis's office know. That is, you can go to www.abbvie, that's abbvie.com/COVID-19CRF-HTML. We'll post that. But I want to encourage you all to apply for that because there is money being available, and the congressman, you got to give people their props when they do their thing, right? So they created a $5 million grant to help underserved communities. That's black folks. All right. Let me see what else I got. Did you see the CPS parade? They were doing a car parade over at Dora's school.
Claire's old grammar school did that. Claire and Hans. Her grammar school did that too.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we should do something. We got to think about what we're going to do for the children. Right? Like, what can you do? Like, I'm just telling you, this is a perfect time. These are, we need to think about things we used to do. Let's do this for next week. Things we used to do in the 80s that we could apply now to kids. Remember, like I told y'all about going for a ride?
Well, I thought you meant like beat them with a yardstick.
That too.
Okay.
Or yardstick. See, man, that's that Catholic school. Okay. You got to get an extension cord.
That might have been the 70s.
Right, extension cord.
Right, extension cord.
Extension cord, no, that's like murder.
See, Todd, it hurt.
I know what extension cord hurt.
Man, you can hear it when it's coming too. It'll be like, whoosh. And when it make contact, and then when they say, don't shut your mouth before I give you something to cry about. You just hit me with an extension cord. That's the top of Chicago. That's why I'm crying. It's the top of Chicago. We'll come back. Deacon Joe, I'm gonna take your call too. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Remember when we used to say cut us in or cut us out, or nothing about us without us?
What?
Well, we need to remember those things as we embark upon Census 2020. Because we got a lot riding on the outcome. We could stand to lose a congressional...
What I got, sure enough do you good.
Outrider showing himself brushing his teeth with his daughter. That's good to see Al happy. Good family. Time waits for no man.
Todd, how many of the original 8th warders are still
alive?
there? Like the ones that...
You should say alive.
No. I want to know the ones that were like loyal to your dad. Like his top generals.
Oh, God. Oh.
How many people still participate in the ward?
Oh, man. Maybe about 2. Most of them are dead. Granberry?
Mm-hmm. He died?
No. My point, he's still there.
Okay.
He's still there. Gerald comes around every once in a while,
but shit, if I was Gerald, I don't know why he would.
But I think he's moving to Arizona. I mean, he'll come back for like the big elections and stuff, but he's moving to Arizona, so that should be if he's not going already. That's about it.
You think there's still a lean, mean fighting machine? Could they go out and take something?
Some of the people who are younger but have been there for a long time, like Al Ryder and Deborah Stanley, are there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to see Deborah Stanley. And I didn't really realize Al Ryder was. I felt like he was new.
Oh no, Al's father was. I think he was there before my dad got there.
Okay. Tom Condon, who ran for judge, his dad was the 8th Ward Alderman before your dad.
Really?
Yep. He ran for sub. I tried to help him.
That sounds like he lost.
Yeah, it was too many people in that race.
Where'd he live? Beverly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all those guys, they live in Beverly.
Once they saw the handwriting on the wall. Like, my thing is, that's how I feel like Madigan and them need to do. Like, if the Latinos were smart, like, we really shouldn't be in a beef with them. They should just be like, we taking all the shit that's under our control right now.
Well, you've seen all their awards have been slow.
I didn't realize Munoz lost to...
It was like the West Side.
Right, like it used to be. Munoz lost to Cardenas.
Oh, did he? I'm not surprised because in my opinion of Cardenas, he was only going to make a move if he knew he could win.
No, he ran the last time and lost. And he made $100. They raised $120,000 in the committee.
He didn't run last time. I thought it was 2 times ago.
Maybe it might be.
Hey. like you should. I got to get shown up to you good. Tell me something good.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and it is Tell Me Something Good Friday. Todd, you did not tell me something good.
No, I didn't. You know, there's something good about a band that travels together and all that kind of stuff. I really like that. Like Rufus and Chaka Khan. You know, the whole group as a group. I like teamwork. But
I was about to say, if that's your tell me something good.
My tell you something good is Claire and I, and man, I'm going to wring Hans by his neck, are going to continue watching our Korean drama.
You don't not sale.
It'll have to be early in the day because I need to. I don't want to fall asleep while I'm reading.
Man, you know what, Todd? I try to stay up. It's like
no, I got to take a nap now.
I don't take a nap. I got to go back to taking a nap. Maybe that's what it is because I cannot make it through. If I sit in that chair, like yesterday, I was studying to get ready for a broadcast. I woke up.
Yeah, right.
I woke up and it was like Carrie was packing up.
You're like, what happened?
I was like, what happened? Yeah. Last thing I know, I was watching how to do. All right, let me go to the live lines. Who give me a call? 312-374-8130. Y'all better tell me something good. Deacon Joe from Minister Mays. What's up, Deacon Joe?
How you doing, Minister Mays?
I'm good.
Minister or just Mays?
Well, the minister.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Well, how you doing, Joe? I'm
doing pretty good. Now, Mays, I went to Walmart because I had to get me a little toilet tissue, you know. They use 12 rolls a day at my house.
12? You must got a house full of women, see? That's your problem, Joe.
15 grandchildren.
Oh, Lord. Your family was busy, boy.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, Mays. But look here, man. I felt a little something creeping up on me when I got home, and I had to.
That wasn't your wife, now was it?
I don't know, but look here. I found a home remedy, man.
What is your home remedy? Talk to me, Deacon Joe.
Look here. I got me some lemon. I got me a half a clove of garlic, some raw honey, and I hope the bishop ain't listening. I put about 4-5 shots of that corn liquor.
Lord. Let me tell you, Deacon Joe, you can't be putting the liquor. Liquor is the work of the devil. You cannot be putting liquor in your remedy unless it's a hot toddy.
Let me tell you, it sweated all that stuff up out of me. And, Maze, I felt so good. I ran around the block. Oh, Maze, I can't tell you what I did this morning, Maze. But look here.
Well,
Maze, I want to tell you something. I was listening, Maze.
Yes.
This is what propelled me to call. I was listening to that boy you have from the SBA.
Yes.
I heard something in there because I was listening closely. Now, Maze, they said that the churches, Maze, the churches should get some of that money.
They should get some of that money.
Now, you know, Maze, see, these reverends, they not too good with computers and stuff like that there. So, Maze, my granddaughter, Maze, she said she gonna help the preachers, Maze. This is what we gonna do.
Well,
now, all the preachers that don't know how to get that money, because I was listening to you, Maze, I want them to call me. No, don't call me. I want them to do www.deaconjoe.
www.deacon. Hold on, Deacon. Let me repeat for the people in the back. It is www. That's W. That's 3 W's, Todd.
There you go.
DeaconJoe.com. Go ahead, Deacon.
There you go. Now listen, mate. Now what I'm gonna do for the ministers, my man.
Come on, cause you got the clothes.
All the ministers is I'm gonna walk them through how to get that money. Now all they got to do, mate, is to send me 99.
Well,
now my daughter, she gonna hook up all that face, all that
damn FaceTime face stuff.
But listen, mate, you know I wouldn't leave out the minister now. I'm going to personally, man.
You gonna tithe on that?
Send you a tithing of all of the proceedings that come in.
Now remember, Deacon, I like where you're going, but you got to remember, tithing at my church is 30%. I need 30%. Let's go to Mama D. Mama D, you on the Talk of Chicago.
Hallelujah, greetings, good guys.
Hey, Mama D.
I find comfort that an invisible God has created an invisible enemy that shows the visible hate that's on the planet. You can't, if the people that have the proper PPE, personal protective equipment, you can't tell whether they're male or female. You can't tell whether they're white or black, what race they are, and what is going on. And I have not given you the spirit of fear. And I think this is a wonderful thing. If you survive this planetary war, you will never be the same again.
Oh, wait. Mom, you know what? I'm going to leave that to Mama D. I ain't going to even touch that one. I'm going to just let that be. The Reverend said, I'm going to let you have that because I don't want no problems. Let me tell y'all something now. As we go into this weekend, Todd, you got anything else you want before I go?
No. Did you say yours?
I said a bunch of them. Yes.
Okay.
And plus my kids coming back and tell me something good. My beautiful, lovely wife, President of MWID, Carrie K. Steele. All right, yeah, that's my tell me something good. All right, now, as we go into this weekend, the weather will be hot, or at least warm, and I'm sure many of us will be tempted to run out.
You're talking about 75 degrees.
Hot.
That's hot.
Which is going to have a lot of us tempted to go out into the streets. We are going to have kids that are going to have a hard time trying to stay in, and I just want to encourage everybody, do your part, right? We don't need to have the mayor come on or anybody else. Yeah, let's stay safe. I'm not one, again, to hide, and I told you I'm having challenges with the whole staying in, but we got to stay in and save lives, right? Stay inside and save lives. Now, people will be going to the garden centers all weekend, and so could y'all just make sure when y'all go pick up your gardening materials, just practice safe social distancing, right? Don't get offended if somebody leans back or leans away, because they all have been watching the same TV and the same stuff as you. But I'm gonna tell y'all, we can get through this if we stick together. No need to hate on each other. So look, y'all, I'm looking forward to a good, productive weekend. I'm gonna watch me some movies. I ain't watching damn Korean drama. But I'll tell you what, I will be back here on Monday. So, for Jennifer Thompson in the newsroom, for Miss Sonia Escobar, the music conductor of the Soul Play. Sonia, you said you got something you want to say? All right, for my co-host, let me do it again. For my co-host, Todd Stroger, who is putting on his recycled gloves after he's touched everything and now he's sealing in the funkified germs.
That's because we really worked this place over early.
All right, y'all. This is the Talk Chicago. I am the host of the WVON Morning Show, asking the question every day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON. Chicago.
Berwyn.
Are you still on?
Oh, yeah.